because we've got
What's going on with that PPP? You've done a lot of talking, not a lot to see. Up in the millions, like 2.3, but Jeff got it all, getting off scot-free. Try to talk tips like we talking about stuff, but you're talking about men printed on cardstock. When you open your mouth, I take it with a grain of salt, 'cause the market's down and you're a clown, it's all your fault. You ruined the hobby I love with your bullshit, Jeff Wilson, Jeff Wilson. You ruined the hobby I love with your bullshit, Jeff Wilson, Jeff Wilson. Did you dip G up? I think you did G up. What you talking about? I don't think you did yet. Well, you still shady shit like the Gobies, like it's Hall of Fame with an NFT. Taking money from the people to pay. Most of them are broke, but that's okay. He's getting money, even better, tax-free. Loving all the stimulus from PPP. You ruined the hobby I love with your bullshit, Jeff Wilson, Jeff Wilson.
B-side on the beat.
What's going on with that PPP? You done a lot of talking, not a lot to see. Up in the millions like 2.3, but Jeff got it all, getting off scot-free. Try to talk tips like we talking about stock, but you're talking about men printed on card stock. When you open your mouth, I take it with a grain of salt, 'cause the market's down and you're a clown, it's all your fault. You ruined the hobby I love with your bullshit, Jeff Wilson, Jeff Wilson. You ruined the hobby I love with your bullshit,
Cast.
Jeff Wilson, Jeff Wilson. Did you dip, Jeff? I think you dipped, Jeff. What you talking about? I don't think you dipped yet. Willie's doing shady shit like the GOBs, like his whole failed thing with them NFTs, taking money from the people to pay. Most of them are broke, but that's okay. He's getting money. Even better, tax-free. Loving all the stimulus from PPP. You ruined the hobby I love with your bullshit, Jeff Wilson, Jeff Wilson. You ruined the hobby I love with your bullshit, Jeff Wilson, Jeff Wilson. You ruined the hobby I love with your bullshit, Jeff Wilson, Jeff Wilson. You ruined the hobby I love with your bullshit.
What is going on, everybody? Hopefully, you guys are doing well out there. It is Friday night. Friday, August 22nd, 7:44 on the West Coast. And we are, is this a first, guys? We are all in the building tonight for the West Coast Card Show. West Coast Card Show is actually about 1 hour east of where we are currently at. We are on the tippity West Coast, where you step just feet outside of our hotel room and you are at Hermosa Beach. We have been eating breakfast burritos and consuming as much picture of men content as we possibly could to get prepared for the West Coast Card Show reunion of the Sports Card Radio crew. We've got an exciting show for you all tonight. One thing that I want to make clear is, Ryan, do you remember what you were doing 19 years ago? 19 years ago to the day.
I have absolutely no idea.
He has absolutely no idea. And the reason why is because it was a distant memory that 19 years ago, Ryan, we were beginning and starting. We were in the first month of operating our own card show. Well, excuse me, our own card shop. We had opened the doors of NorCal Sports, and that was 19 years ago. 25 years ago, we got our first wholesale license to buy and sell and flip wax and do all that stuff. It's probably about, Ryan, I don't know, you'll know better than me, maybe about 15, 16 years ago, you started showing up at the National. And you have some of the only footage and only extensive amount of footage that is still on the channel, still on Sports Card Radio, where you can view the National from the, quote, influencer point of view. About 18 years ago, we started the Sports Card Show podcast. This was before most people even knew what a podcast was. Speaking of group breaks, we have the first podcast ever about group breaks, and that was recorded about 14 years ago. We would show up at the industry events. We would invite on the industry, and this is the Sports Card Show podcast. We turned the podcast and the website into a monetized asset. And even to this day, Sports Card Radio is probably in the top 5 most trafficked websites that is not a brand, is not trying to sell you something, not trying to get you to grade your cards, not having you log in to open up some fucking packs. Pure fan-driven, hobby-driven website. It is still in the top 5 of traffic. And at one time, it was a 7-figure website for the Sports Card Radio crew. I bring all of this up, Ryan. I bring all this up because we live in a society today, Ryan, where anybody can turn on the camera. Anybody can act like they fucking are an expert. Anybody can, like, I've been seeing it. Have you seen the content, Ryan, over the past couple of weeks? Everybody talking about YouTube content and views and hobby content. And I look behind them, Ryan. Does any of them got, what do they send you for YouTube? It's called like a play button. You get a play button. So you got to have 100-something thousand subscribers to get a play button. I would know because I have a play button. I would know because I have put up no video editor, no lighting team, no employees, just singular myself. I have driven over 20 million views to YouTube. So, Ryan, when we talk about content tonight and YouTube content, it comes from the point of expertise because we actually have been recognized by YouTube. YouTube has actually recognized us. And when they send you the play button, Ryan, a letter from the CEO that is signed by the CEO of YouTube accompanies the play button. So we actually know something about YouTube content because we've been recognized by YouTube and we have tens of millions of views. This is just me personally. When we talk about our influencer friends that are opening card shops or thinking about opening card shops, we know that because, Ryan, guess what? We had a card shop. We owned a card shop. When we talk about these influencers showing up at the National, acting like it's a big deal, talking about what's happening at the National, we did that. We did that. We did that before anybody else did that. And when these guys talk about maybe taking their traffic from YouTube or taking their traffic from somewhere and then go sending it to an owned brand, whether it's an application or whether it's a website, and make money, we've also done that. So there's a lot of people in this industry, Ryan, that get on a mic and start talking. But almost all of them have never done shit. They talk about YouTube. They fucking haven't been successful at YouTube. They talk about going to a card show and flipping cards. They barely done it. They talk about showing up at National and getting views and talking about it. You were doing that fucking almost 2 decades ago. People talking about card shops and whether it's a good idea or a bad idea to own one or how they've changed. We've owned one. We've worked in them. We've seen them. We had a saying, Ryan, it was a couple of years ago. We said, who do you listen to? There's a play off Panini's Who Do You Collect? So who do you collect? That's a personal decision. Who you listen to is also a personal decision. But I would say, Ryan, one of the biggest problems in society today, and the reason why we have a 99% and a 1%, is the 99% sits around and listens to the other 99% that sits on the fucking couch and doesn't actually accomplish anything. They sit on the couch and they talk about this influencer or that card shop or that card show, and they never actually done it themselves. Sports Card Radio brings you the unique perspective because we've actually done it. We've actually fucking done it. And that's the perspective that we're going to come at you today. When we talk about these influencers, we talk about the industry. We've actually fucking done it. And my tip to anybody watching right now, just do shit. Stop talking about the shit. Just do it. It's great to be here. We're in a beautiful hotel room, one that we've stayed at many times. Ryan, you're on the West Coast. How does it feel to be back in California?
Feels amazing. I think you buried the lead, though. I mean, we've done a lot of things, but you did something historic today. I mean, I think you sold half the stadium to the Chicago Bears versus the Kansas City Chiefs game. You somehow fulfilled all the ticket obligations, I think about 2-3 hours before the game. Every single Karen and Shirika in the Midwest was able to attend the football game because of you. I just want to acknowledge that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Every Shaniqua with 4 illegitimate children and on 8 different child supports and OnlyFans as a side income. They're definitely attending the game tonight. And it's my pleasure to have them get in the game and not see Patrick Mahomes or not see anybody good on either team play. It's an absolute honor of mine. And I'm grateful to have made probably $838 doing it. So it feels fucking amazing.
It was an incredible performance, incredible to witness as well. So shout out to you and the 50,000 tickets fans that used the tickets today. I'm sure they witnessed a historic battle in the third week of the preseason game. But we've got a lot to talk about in the sports card world. Like you said, we've been there, done that in the sports card world. And with age, gives you experience, gives you perspective. And so we've been to these card shows when they were we called it the Crickets convention. And I was, yes, one of the first sports card vloggers who took a camera out and walked around the national. And a lot of times there were dealers who would tell me to stop filming. Well, what are you doing? Or looked at me weird. Could you imagine that happening today at the national when seemingly, 1 out of 10 people is filming for either Instagram or TikTok or what have you? But we got some topics to run down. We were at the West Coast Card Show today, milling about the people. Thanks to everybody who came up to us and just super nice to us. Everybody's always really nice to us in person. We will dive into some of the mean comments that were left. Specifically, I don't know if it was mean, but he left 3 of them on our last live stream. So we definitely want to address the people. You can call in with all your grievances. Colin has been busy selling Kansas City Chiefs tickets to Shaniqua. I've been trying to, keep the ice packs on in Arizona where it's 114 degrees. We've been a little preoccupied. Haven't done a lot of live streams, but we're back. And if you have any grievances that have occurred over the last 6 to 12 to 24 months to 36 months, even back in the 1980s, you're welcome to call into Sports Card Radio. Talk about whatever you want. But if you start promoting yourself, I'll probably kick you off because stay on topic. But you're welcome to call in and ask us anything you'd like. If you want to know about Ken, if you want to know about our Check Out My Cards account, if you want to know what happened at the West Coast Card Show, if you want to know how to sell half the stadium to the Kansas City Chiefs game, Colin might even tell you. Well, let's talk about card shows. I think we should talk about card shops. I think we talk about these repacks, which have really kind of an economy, all of its own in the sports card world. And certainly at shows, it really plays out. We've set up at dozens of shows in the last couple of years. And sometimes these guys will come around and they're affiliated with one repacker or the another, and they'll buy out your whole table. They'll buy everything you have, and they're willing to pay top dollar. It has rubbed some people the wrong way in the hobby, and I think we can share our opinion. And like I said, we have someone who left 3 comments, Colin, and 2 of them I think were edited on our last video. I feel like it's actually a topic that we've discussed, but I did want to give him, his due, and we can talk about that. And anybody else who wants to call in and kind of air their grievances, it's a Friday night. We're chilling. We got the drinks out. Beautiful sunset in Hermosa Beach. Yeah, can you believe people talk shit on this place? Holy Jesus. Colin, I don't know where you wanted to start. I have all your, I guess all your patrons have made it into the stadium, so you're free to talk about sports cards now. What were your impressions about the West Coast Card Show? These big card shows cropping up, now all across the country. Although I did see the Nationals heading to Detroit. I don't know.
Detroit.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
God.
So, what are your thoughts? First of all, what are your thoughts on Detroit, and what are your thoughts on the West Coast Card Show?
Detroit. I mean, look, the thing is like the people you went to the National when it was like we would get on the podcast and you would call it the Crickets Convention, and it was like there was like you were like the only person fucking there basically, and like you said, there would be people be like, "Why are you filming?" or "Just stop filming" or whatever. And now these fucking dealers have fucking cameras at their booths. Like you went when you could just walk up and look at the stuff. I actually think from what I saw at the National, and look, I wasn't there. So again, I went on a 20-minute rant to start the thing. Like, hey, I don't want people talking about shit. Just go do shit. Maybe I should just show up in Chicago or some other third world city like Detroit and go to one of these things. But, like I'll pay my money and we'll sit out here and we'll be on the beach and we'll see high quality, talent and stuff walking by. I sure as hell ain't gonna go pay money to go to Detroit. And not only that, Ryan, maybe I pay to Detroit if I had this atmosphere where I could literally walk up to the booth. This is the 2016 National that you're showing video on the screen of. And are you the only one there? Was there anybody else there when you were filming this? Was this
compared to now? Right. I mean, compared to now, it's unbelievable. It's night and day, and this is only 9 years ago. It's literally only 9 years ago. If you would have told me 9 years ago that you would have the crowds that you do now, I just would have been blown away. So no, I don't think anybody could have foreseen what was going to happen, not only with card shows, but also kind of the market in general. I mean, you could look back at some of these prices, and I literally should have just scooped up everything at this entire show, just backed up literally backed up the truck and almost bought everything. And back in these days, everybody thought all this stuff was overpriced. So it feels like a long time ago, but in reality, it really wasn't.
I mean, yeah, time wise, it definitely wasn't a long time ago, but the hobby's changed obviously significantly. Everything's changed in 10 years or 9 years or however long this is. But to me, it's like, if you want to go to the National and slap ass and be seen, probably no better event. Fanatics Fest is probably right up there where it's like, hey, look at me, I'm at some event. Okay, cool. If you want to pull money out of your own pocket, and like I said, go to a third world city like Chicago. It's not even Chicago, it's like the outskirts, or go to fucking Detroit. Like, you got to be fucking kidding me. Go to Detroit? Pay to go to Detroit? Pay to go to Detroit. And then this is the capper of the point, Ryan. Not even be able to walk up to the fucking booth and look at the fucking cards. So it's literally, hey, I paid to go to Detroit to go look at pictures of men, but I have to like elbow my way through 19 fucking greasy ass old men just to look at another picture of a man. Seems to me fucking sounds like a terrible fucking idea and a terrible time. I'd rather sit in my fucking room. Even if I was a pathetic loser and didn't have like a nice place, I lived with my mom in the basement, like 90% of the hobby. I'd rather sit down there and open fucking Arena Club. Like these kids are doing, Ryan. And with at least with Arena Club, boom, I get the card, and then can't you turn around and sell this shit? Is that how it works?
Right. So like on Courtyard and Arena Club and these kind of digital repacks, yeah, you're able to buy the card, and then the platform itself a lot of times will offer you back, 80 to 90% back, so that they just kind of keep the train moving, keep the ecosystem going, and keep liquidity in people's pockets, so they keep spinning the wheel.
Let me ask you this question, and there's gonna be like 8 dorks in the comments, and you watching this later is like, oh, these guys must have got a check from Arena Club. Guys, Arena Club can't write us a big enough check. They sent us an email. I'm sure they sent us an email. We're like, hey, can you work with us or whatever?
I mean, text. I got blown up with text.
Yeah,
like
DMs and all this other shit. We don't respond to this shit. So, full disclosure, we didn't get a fucking nickel from Arena Club to talk about Arena Club, unlike the rest of these losers. And none of these losers can show you a nice watch, can have a nice hotel room, can have a nice little vacation. They're staying budget and they're like rooming up, bunking up in fucking hotel rooms in fucking Cleveland like you're fucking broke. So I don't remember what I was going to say.
I think you were going to say that, you're glad all your patrons made it into the Chiefs game safe and sound, and StubHub isn't going to come with some remission.
Oh, I was talking about Slab Arena or whatever it's called. Arena fucking Club. Here's the deal. I think this is one of the best things that has happened to the hobby since Jeff Wilson got his second PPP loan, right? Fucking Slab Arena packs or whatever they're called. Slab packs. This is one of the best things that has happened to the hobby in,
Wait, did you get a check from these guys and you ain't saying nothing? Like, did you get, because just cut it, cut half the check, and you got to cut 5%.
Yeah. So take a step back, guys. Take a step back. You can go to Chicago, not even Chicago, not even be able to see the cards. You can fucking go to Detroit. Hope you don't get murdered. Hope you don't get jacked. You can go to Atlantic City, another 3rd, 4th tier city. You can go to a card show like that, not even see the shit. Or you can sit in your living room, click a button, open the pack, and then on top of that, turn around and sell it right away without doing anything. Right? How is this not the greatest thing of all time?
We're old enough to remember Upper Deck EPAC, which is essentially kind of a similar model, whether you're opening up, digital. You're opening up the packs digitally, but the physical cards are stored elsewhere, either in a vault. In Upper Deck EPAC's case, it's Check Out My Cards. In Arena Club's case, I'm guessing they have some kind of vault. You're sponsored by them now, so maybe where the fuck these cards are stored. But I do like this model. A lot of people, they talk about growing the hobby, that we need to 10x the hobby. Look, you're not going to 10x the hobby with pretty pictures of men and getting people to collect them or build sets or all this stupid shit that people did in the 1980s. You're going to do this by essentially digitalized gambling and cranking this up, DraftKings and FanDuel style, and yeah, being able to open a pack and then providing the liquidity, hopefully almost immediately, to where you're able to sell that pack back, maybe open some more, and keep the train moving. That's the only way you're going to grow the hobby. And then, it kind of, the repack thing didn't exist back when I was taking videos at the National 9 years ago. And that's why the liquidity wasn't as high. That's why there wasn't as many people there, because there just wasn't the liquidity for this stuff. That's why the prices were lower. If you want to grow the hobby, I get the sense that most people who make videos and these content creators and these people who are kind of vested into the business, you're going to have to embrace the gambling side. And at some point, you're either going to have to replace the breakers or get people who participate into breaks pushed into this, because you can donk off a lot more money and probably provide actually a lot more liquidity back via these slab packs than you can a traditional break, where it gets opened by some overweight dude or some frat bro in a warehouse. It takes 4 or 5 days for them to even ship you that stuff. With this, it's all instantaneous. So I can't believe we're not getting paid for this, but we were big fans of Upper Deck EPAC, and how long ago was that?
That was like
a while
fucking
ago.
E-tops. I just think this is the greatest thing that has happened. And Fanatics within 6 months will, I mean, they're already kind of doing this, but this is going to become, in 6 to 12 months, this is going to be a double-digit percentage of their business. For sure.
You're saying Topps is going to jump into the digital game.
Fuck yeah. They know that they can be like the incubator. They're like a big healthcare company, Ryan. Like Johnson & Johnson and these companies, they don't really have to research any drugs. They let all the universities and all the startups do it. And then when they get to a certain degree, they go out and either copy what they're doing or they go acquire the company. And that's Fanatics is playing that role inside of the hobby. They're going to let everybody open card shops, and then they'll partner with the one or two that are the best, and they'll gobble up most of the market share at that point. They'll let everybody do breaks, and then eventually they'll take control of that. They'll let everybody do repack, and then eventually they'll take that over. I mean, this is like Michael Rubin's playbook for his whole life. So anybody who thinks that I'm just like making this shit up, this is exactly what the plan has been all along. And you're not going to 10x the hobby where it's one pack at a time, distributed through card shops, even through these breakers. These breakers are just too slow. This is fantastic. This concept.
The thing I love about EPAC, I don't know if it's with Arena Club, is that you can sit here and trade cards with other people,
exactly,
and kind of one-to-one trades.
No, this is great.
There's a little chat message board in here where you say, hey, I'm looking for Connor McDavid or Ovechkin or whoever, or Sidney Crosby. And you can sit here and literally like pair up all these trades. If Upper Deck had more licenses, if they actually had some of their old licenses, people would be talking about this 24/7. But because it's the hockey and some of their entertainment brands on here, some of the second tier wrestling stuff, it doesn't get as much love. And they don't push this as hard as they could. They still cater to these stupid diamond dealers where they should be shoving this product down your throat via EPAC. To where I think it's a really engaging experience. You buy these cards and then you can sit on here and trade with other people, meet other people in a safe way. The transactions, the trade transactions that occur there, it's all kind of above board and safe. And I don't know that much about Arena Clubs, like when you have your shit vaulted here, like what you can do. But how much did Arena Club give you, sir? Did you make more on the Arena Club deal or the Kansas City Chiefs tickets today? Just be straight up honest.
Straight up. I don't know. I don't know who owns Arena Club. I sure as hell don't know where the cards are. I don't have an account on Arena Club. I did sign up for Courtyard IO because what's the name? PSA had like a little email deal with them where it was send your or spend 50, you get 50 or whatever. So it's like a free roll. And so I bought something from Courtyard IO, and I got like a Jamar Chase PSA 10 rookie card or something that was worth like $80. So I've done this. I'm on this site. I've done it. I did the promo that they offered, and I didn't do it again. This is not my thing. I'm saying like I'm not going to log into these things and like buy these things. I just think the concept and what they're doing here, this is going to become bigger than breaking. Like way bigger than, like people think, oh my God, the breakers are so big. This is going to make the breakers look like little boys. It's going to make all the little guys trying to open up these fucking card shops and fucking work 19 hours a day, make these guys look like fucking idiots. It's going to make a lot of the guys that are setting up at these card shows, and that they have to, like, they sit there, like Brian Gray probably sat at the National. It was like a sauna for him. Probably he probably lost 18 pounds last week at the fucking National, sitting there. He had to, like, how long did he have to fucking work to and price the like, how stupid are we, Ryan? Like, it's like they're literally comping these cards. Somebody has to come up to you. You have to take a photo of it. You have to find out the comp. Then you have to work out a deal. What the fuck? That is wet. Like, somebody's going, there are so much pain points now, blowing over a little bit. Like in 2006, when you were, or 2016, when you were at this National, like, it was amazing experience, but you couldn't walk up to any dealer and just get 90% off a comp. The fact that that's a thing in this hobby where you can literally go up to somebody He doesn't have to be a dealer in the baseball or basketball or the team or whatever. It's literally, what's the comp? I'll give you 80 off, 90 off. And so to me, that can be automated. If that's going to be the thing in the hobby, I don't need, with all due respect, fat ass Brian Gray sitting there pricing my shit. That can be all done digitally. Scan the card, price the card. I mean, it all is done more or less. There's versions of this, but my take is that Fanatics is going to take all of this over. This is going to be Fanatics' big money maker going forward. It's going to make the breakers look like little boys, because it's like they're going to be selling like individual cards. Fuck the whole box for $280. They're going to be selling one card for $280. And then they'll turn around, buy it back, and then turn around, sell it again, buy it back, turn around, sell it again. I mean, it's going to be fantastic for them. This is like, they should be running full speed into this shit.
I love this business model. Yeah.
Great.
I'm totally into this business model. They should sponsor us. Actually, they should. They've got my phone number. They should sponsor us. But I think people see the idea, and these are some of the first movers in this space. But like you said, Fanatics is the one with all the licenses. What if they made Bowman Chrome, digital? What if they made Topps Chrome digital? And what if they really pushed it? So, yeah, this is
where's the margin? The reason why the shit's gotten more expensive, Ryan. When you showed the videos of you walking around the shit and at the National, the boxes were hella cheap back then. Okay. But what people don't remember, because, they didn't get into the hobby until Jeff Wilson had 2 PPP loans already forgiven by the government. What they don't remember, Ryan, is even like the boxes that were like $30 or $40, the value to what you paid is exactly the same as it is today. And so the boxes have gotten more expensive because I was researching Home Depot the other day, Ryan, and the executive on the conference call at Home Depot was like, did you know that people's equity in their home since 2019 is up 50%? We're talking about just from 2019 to today. If you own a home, it's worth 50% more than what you paid for it. And so, yeah, in that environment, everything is getting more expensive. So Topps is fucking whole business, all the cost, just the shipping of the box back and forth, the paper, the making of the cards, the executives that are required to make all these sets, the logistics and the signatures and the jerseys and all that shit, that has gotten exponentially more expensive just in the past couple of years, but certainly in the past decade. So of course they've got to start charging more for this shit. And they're still distributing it in the same way as they did in 1986. When it's almost 2026. This is all going to go digital. Like the opening of these boxes, the transactions, all of it is going to be digital.
Do you think it'll put some, if not most, breakers out of business? Like if they went this way?
The breakers are going to get put out of business anyways. Their business model is shrinking. I mean, the Topps has just come in and taken all the margin out of it. I mean, try to make any money on this shit. Try to make any money on group breaking.
The manufacturers see the profit margins that the breakers are making, so why wouldn't they go after that?
Right. They're just using them because they obviously can move through mass quantities of things, but eventually they'll bring that in-house. And just like the slab packs and the arena packs and all that other shit, they're going to bring that back in. Fanatics bought PWCC or whatever. They're going to run it all through there. They're just going to run it all through there. And that's is where the hobby's going. And Fanatics has to take it here. Fanatics, if you guys want to show up at the National and not have it be the Crickets convention, if you guys wanted to go back to the Crickets convention, then Fanatics needs to continue to run things like it's 1986 or even 2016, where it's, oh my God, I got to send it to a breaker and he's got to put all the spots up. I mean, most people watching this have bought into a break. They understand it. But like anytime I get break credit from Fanatics, I log in and I'm like, my God, it's hard to spend they'll give me like randomly like $50 or whatever. I'm like, fuck, it's hard to spend this $50. Like literally, it's literally hard. Try to log in to like Fanatics Live and try to dust off $50 into a break really quickly. Like it's actually not that easy. Yeah, if you're a fucking turbo dork and this is all you do, you haven't gotten laid in 18 years. Yeah, you probably know how to get in there and like get your shit open super fast. But like I'm in there and I'm like, fuck, I got $50. How do I buy into a break and what the fuck happens? Like I'm in there for fucking, it's like a 2-hour commitment to spend $50. We're on fucking slab arena packs. If I want to spend 50, can I just snap 50 off real quick? It's log in, boom, boom, open pack, done. That's
Easy.
exactly where we're going. Exactly where we're going.
I would be excited about it because you know this would take sports cards to a whole new level if you're able and if you're able to reduce the friction, the buy and sell friction. A lot of people could make pretty significant amount of money. I think either selling the single cards, either sitting on these platforms and marketplaces all day just flipping cards remotely. A lot of these guys, they have to travel to Dallas and fill up a suitcase and got to travel over here and got to travel to Anaheim and go to a suitcase and blah, blah, blah. And it's just a pain in the ass. Whereas if you could sit here and if the marketplaces were robust enough, the only one that is eBay, but gosh, it's a pain in the ass to find anything. You're searching through all these listings. If these marketplaces can improve and mature, and then like you said, Fanatics is going to need and want to crank this up to a level 11. As you're looking at prices of boxes from the 2017 National Sports Collectors Convention, you might want to hide your eyes. You ain't never seen prices like that. And you're probably never going to see those ever again, ladies and gentlemen. Again, you could have just went to these conventions and scooped up. I think that was a finest box for $60, wasn't it? I think the new one came out. I think it's 500 now.
And people are like, hey, it's expensive. No, it's not. It actually isn't expensive relative to where everything else has gone in price. Because people, Ryan, when these boxes were 100, what were people saying? It's fucking expensive. That's why it's sitting there unsold. This was expensive in 2016. $85. Now it looks cheap. Just like Ryan, a $1 candy bar, $1.50 candy bar looks expensive to somebody that used to buy them for a fucking nickel back in fucking 1960.
They had to raise the price. I mean, we've seen what happened with Pokemon cards where you have the grown men out there, grown overweight men out in front of Target and Walmart's getting in fights over these things. Whereas if it was blasters were still $20 and a box of Bowman Chrome was $46 wholesale, you'd see people fighting over this stuff and UPS trucks, you know, tipped over and robbed. People trying to get after this stuff. So the price had to elevate. I guess they could always pull the price back if demand and, you know, the demand doesn't keep going up like it has in the last few years. But we've come a long way in the last few years. But if you want this hobby to continue, and a lot of people have poured millions upon millions of dollars into this, either through their own personal brand, shops, breakers themselves, you've got to reduce the friction for people to buy into this stuff. Can't be a good old boys club, good old boy network to buy into these breaks, to buy into these repacks. Colin, what do you think about these? I'll share my thoughts, but what do you think about these guys who go around these card shows and buy stuff at 80-90% and some of the blowback they receive? What are your thoughts on these kind of wheeler and dealers who there's a ton at the, somebody said, why weren't we at the West Coast Card Show? We were, buddy. We were. Where were you? We were there. Colin will be there tomorrow. I got Niner tickets to sell. But Colin, what are your thoughts on these repackers and kind of, they have like a buying network and kind of a buying group and people kind of sell into them. But what are your thoughts on that?
I got no problem with it. I got no problem with it. And I think it's kind of a myth that they're the ones jacking up the price. And this is why everything's so expensive. No, it's not. This is why there's actually liquidity. And this is why you can actually get this shit. Because if you're trying to collect, you know, Otani or something, and they're not circulating in the market, when you find one, you would have to pay out the fucking ass for it because the guy knows, you're not going to be able to find this. The fact that we have so much liquidity in the hobby where, like you said, you can, like, I have a stack of PSA cards. I'm going to take this tomorrow to the show and see if I can just sell them. And back in the day, like, that was like, you would like, I probably could walk in and sell those cards within 5-10 minutes, which is unheard of in the hobby. So this is fantastic. Now, I think they're just, these guys are just chasing this is just like a version of a group breaker or a version back in the day of of whatever. I don't really consider it a quote business. It is an opportunity. And I think they're and just like you sell football tickets, but you don't walk up to anybody and say, "Hi, I have a football ticket business." You know what I mean?
Well, football season ends. I'm fucked. You know, if I can only sell football tickets, what the fuck do I do for the other 6 months? I'm on the street out here on Hermosa Beach, you know, begging for a brother's burrito.
Yeah, so, I don't view this as a business, but that's more technical, and that's more, you know, now we're getting, you know, kind of dorky about, you know, how we categorize what a business or an opportunity or a hustle is or whatever. But in general, for the hobby, the one thing I hate, Ryan, is everybody cares about the hobby. Oh, the hobby. Here's a news flash for you. Anybody in this hobby could get run over by a bus tomorrow, and the hobby wouldn't give a fuck. Hobby would not give a fuck. That goes for the athletes. That goes for any of the businesses. That goes for anything. Anybody in this hobby. You get run over by a bus, or you walk out here on Hermosa and some guy on one of those e-bikes fucking runs you over. Nobody's going to give a fuck. The hobby will go right on. Nobody will give a fuck. So stop worrying about the fucking hobby. The hobby doesn't give a shit about you. And the hobby is going to continue to evolve and continue to change. And it's going to go further and further into digitization. And I've
remember those.
When I was talking, I know exactly what that box is. Like I said at the jump, Ryan, we bought that the year it came out and was flipping it on eBay.
$55.
And 90% of the channels on YouTube, Ryan, telling people how to flip cards, these guys have literally done it like 8 times. We were doing this 20 years ago. So that's the perspective we come from at Sports Card Radio. A lot of people think we come on here and we talk shit. No, we're talking from a level of experience that you guys don't recognize because you're used to 99% content where it's a guy who's just trying to figure out how to invest in cards. It's a guy that just got back into the hobby and he's really only been collecting cards seriously for 5 years. It's a guy that's just opened up a card shop, a guy thinking about opening a card shop, a guy with like, you know, a few thousand views telling you about shit. Like we did this shit. We've done this shit. That is why we can get on here and say it. Like we've done all of this. Everything that your influencer out there that you admire and you put on a pedestal, we've already done it. And so that's why we're not impressed with any of these guys. That's why we don't sit here and slap ass and look to make friends, because we look at these guys and we're like, these guys are lame. Jeff Wilson is like balding and he's like 50 and he's opened up his first card shop. Like I was in my last semester of college when I opened a card shop. It's like you're such an underachieving motherfucker. And everybody looks at Jeff. Oh, he's big. Oh my God, he's big. I look at him and I was like, this motherfucker's underachieving. Motherfucker barely has any hair and he just opened a card shop for the first time. What were you doing in your 20s, bro? Like you couldn't open a business when you were in college? Like a little startup or something?
Let's check his views. He should have big views from the national. Let's see.
Well, if we want to get into like the views, we can talk about that. Because like I said, Ryan, I seen a lot of guys talking about YouTube and views and sub count, and none of these guys got a YouTube, what is a plaque or a play button or whatever. I mean, I have one hanging in my living room, so I know what they are.
Well, let's touch on that. I want to touch on some of these influencers, and from the perspective of, you know, I don't know if we've been this positive on one of these live streams. I mean, you gave a free fucking endorsement to fucking Arena Club.
It's nothing about
We
Arena Club.
shouted out Courtyard Eye Out, but what I wanted to say is what these other guys have sort of gone negative. But why? Why aren't people more positive about the industry? Shouldn't some of these guys be making quite a bit of money per week, either flipping cards or they're not making money creating the content, unfortunately, but flipping these damn cards like they're Kansas City Chiefs fucking tickets. Like, why are these people so grumpy? Why are people saying content is dead when it seems like, from my observation, this couldn't be more popping than Hermosa Beach on a fucking Friday night.
Agreed. The hobby is popping like Hermosa on a Friday night. And again, 99% of the people watching this have no idea about that. But if you do, you know what we're saying. Ryan, here's what it is they're chasing the view, not the conversion. Okay. And again, we can speak from experience like this, Ryan, because I started the podcast just as kind of a thing. Again, this was 17 years ago when nobody had a fucking podcast. I would tell people I had a podcast. Nobody knew what it was. Now it's like everybody has a podcast about every topic. But I would get on the podcast, and eventually what the podcast turned into, Ryan, was a mechanism for us to SEO our website. Because on a podcast, as many of you know, when you spit out the podcast, it would go across the web, across a bunch of, even back in, and this was back in 08, 09, it would go to Apple's website. It would go, and this was before like backlinks were like really kind of like no followed and all this stuff. I could put out a podcast, then I could put a link into it to the 2009 Top Series 1 baseball set. And so when somebody got to Google and searched 2009 Series 1, guess what website came up? Sports Card Radio. Guess what Sports Card Radio had on it? A shit ton of fucking affiliate links to eBay, which had at the time had a 7-day fucking cookie. And so anything you bought on eBay over 7 days, and somebody searching for some fucking baseball set probably spent a lot of money on eBay. And eBay was even more dominant in the card hobby than it is today. Like all the transactions happened on eBay. There was no check on my cards, really. There was no other place to buy the cards except for eBay. What I am not seeing, Ryan, is the convert. It's just it's just wanting to hit refresh on your view count and having it go from 1,005 to 1,007. That's the wrong way to think about it. You can make a lot of money, Ryan, with a small amount of views if your conversion to a higher value thing is really high. You're not going to do it. What did Jay, we're talking about Slab Arena Pack or whatever. It's because the guy ran like a promo for it. I didn't have a problem with the promo. I don't have a problem with somebody having a YouTube channel and saying, hey, I got emailed by Slab Arena and I'm going to fucking, take the $500 or run the affiliate link or whatever. Got no problem with that. No problem with that. If we were in our 20s, Ryan, and we were just doing this, we probably would have done it too. Okay. We probably would have done breaks and all this other stuff. I got no problem with people doing that, but that is not going to get you to the level that you want to be financially. You've got to send these people to a higher converting thing. You need to send them to your own platform. The only guy that's doing it really, Ryan, is Jeff. Jeff's got the fucking market fucking ladder movers thing. So he sends a couple of the funnel, the traffic there. And he's the only guy that's like taking you to somewhere. Everybody else is just trying to get some ad set money. The other reason why, Ryan, the views are down is because these guys are still making top of funnel content. And by top of funnel, I mean to that person that is just getting into the cards. They're super passionate. And I get, this happens to me all the time. Every like few years, Ryan, I get into something. Competitive shooting, golf, 3D printing, chess, or whatever. I just get like super passionate about it. And I go on YouTube and I get fed all the top of funnel. Like right now, I'm watching all top of funnel 3D printing shit. Like I'm watching all the guys. Okay. Jeff is still making content for like the top of funnel, like collector. And that guy has graduated, Ryan. The top of funnel guy, they still come into the hobby, but they've graduated away from, I spent $1,000 at the Chantilly card show. Let's talk about this set. This content isn't good enough anymore. They've graduated away from this. It'd be like if Mr. Beast was still making last to take the hand off the Lamborghini wins it. You can do that video 4 or 5 times, and then you've got to step it up. Now it's spend 30 days in jail. Then it's spend 30 days in isolation with a hot chick and try not to bang her and get $1 million. Spend the, 30 days on the private jet. You have to level it up. These guys aren't leveling up. They're still making top 5 sports cards, and it's good enough. It's good enough. If you're Jeff and you have a conversion to, I don't know what his conversion to the market movers. I don't know if that's exactly what he's trying to do here, or if this is, he has some other stuff going on, but it's mainly like market movers in his card shop. And it's maybe just maintaining a presence at the industry. So then when he goes to these industry events, he can promote that stuff, which might be slightly higher value. But no, like, what does Card Collector do? What does Jay from Mojo do? What does Roth Cards do? What did any of these guys do? Other than exactly what they were doing 3 or 4 years ago. So you have to find where you're going to take your viewer. And in some cases, less is more. I've actually found that over the past year with YouTube. Less is way more. I used to get way more views, Ryan. I used to make videos that were like way more popular, way more mainstream. I was like, fuck it. I just want to reach the hardcore. I don't want to reach the top of funnel investor, because they have $800 in a Robinhood account and they barely know what they're doing. I want to reach the guy that has 50,000 in an account or more. And so you've got to create a certain type of content just for that guy. You've got to like convince him that it's like high enough level. It's not top of funnel. And that guy can fucking pay some bills for you. This top of funnel shit, you're either going to be constantly chasing the next sponsorship. You're constantly going to be doing the next affiliate deal. You're constantly going to be, susceptible to like peaks and valleys when it comes to views, whether it comes to, payments and all these types of things. And it's not like a Patreon. It's not like, hey, give me money. No, provide these people some fucking value. Like, you can provide fucking value for these people. Like Jay from Mojo, Ryan, he's like, oh, I'm going to open up a card shop. What the fuck are you doing? Why don't you go around the country and help other people open card shops and charge them for that? You know what I mean? Like there's these openers, like when Texas Roadhouse opens, Ryan, have you ever gone to like Texas Roadhouse, like the first week it opens? It's like in my town, it opened and you walked in there and they're like, all the waitresses were hot as fuck. I was like, what the fuck? None of these girls live where I live. But it's like they bring in the opener. So you bring in the crew, and this is like a real thing. You bring in a crew that opens the place and launches it. He could launch people shit. But no, I'm gonna settle down in fucking Sacramento, fucking California, and compete against True Sports Cards and every other sports card business that has been there. And then also be at the whims of fanatics giving you some fucking airtime and allocation. And then on top of that, the fact you got Slab Pack and Arena fucking Pack that can pay these fucking dorks $200 to talk about the shit. They don't even have to pay me. I'll talk about it for free. Like, fucking do something. That's what I see with these guys, is they constantly do. They're just doing the same shit. Oh, I bought a $50,000 card. Wow. I was at the National and I made a deal. Wow. It's like, yeah, of course your views are staggering. You're not providing any value to the guy that's already graduated away from that content. Yeah, you're going to have your super fans and your super dorks fucking watch this shit, but you're not going to grow. I mean, that's the reason why you don't got no growth, but you don't have to grow. If you have like Sports Card Radio, it's like, I don't know how many people watch the podcast, Ryan, downloaded. I never looked at how many people downloaded it. I never looked at any of that shit. All I ever fucking did was look at the SEO of the site and the affiliate checks that were coming from fucking, need that? The affiliate checks that were coming from eBay. That's all I gave a fuck about. I would just post podcasts so I could get 4 backlinks in the episode. And that was it. I don't see these guys doing that. They're like, oh, I got to post a video so Slab Arena can give me fucking $40. And Slab Arena, whatever he makes off of that, Slab Arena is making 100 times that. Because what happens is he does the ad, and then 4 other people like us will talk about it. So these guys are fucking idiots. You can actually make more being on here and actually talking about this for free if you had a funnel for these guys. If you had a funnel into like an advisory service, a launching service, or whatever. Why isn't there a newsletter, Ryan, in the hobby that fucking crushes it? Why isn't there a definitive, everybody's email that's ever existed in the hobby has signed up for this thing, and it goes out weekly or monthly or whatever? Why isn't there fucking that? Why isn't there more innovation on the supply side, on the dealer side supplies? mean, yeah, oh my God, you have Zion cases. Oh my God, they took a Pelican case and changed the foam inside. Oh my God. Wow.
Michael Rubin, when he took over the licenses, he said, the competition in this industry was so weak from the top down, from the manufacturers to the grading companies, to the distributors, to the sub-distributors, to the breakers, to the shop owners, to the individual dealers. It was a very, very weak industry for many, many years. COVID, the free PPP money, people sitting around, people getting nostalgic. It blew things up. But I think that's why you don't see influencers do more things, reach a greater audience, because they don't have the skills to do so. Our boy Mojo, look, he said he spent $100,000 traveling the country, going to these hobby shops. $100,000. I think, like Colin's point made, he should have made $100,000. Close that a little bit. Should have made $100,000. He should be more of a funnel for these guys to buy and sell cards. I think some guys are successful at it.
He should have. How does he not have 100K on a rebill right now? And 100K is not that much. He lives out here in California. Like, you could do 100K in a month out here if you're working hard. You saw the stripe balance, right?
Yeah, didn't you make 100K this month?
I mean, I can't confirm or deny, but it was a good amount.
Half the Chiefs Stadium is 100K, I think.
Yeah. That's the funny thing, is I probably made more selling Chiefs tickets, and that was like a side joke for me. Like, I was like, I didn't even give a fuck about that.
Well, what would you advise Mojo to do?
Don't open a card shop.
He called in. What would you advise?
Don't open a fucking card shop. It's retarded. Like, why? Like, everybody has done that in their life. You know what I mean? Like, we did it 20 years ago. Now, did I? And I don't know how old do you think he is?
Almost 30 or 30.
See, he's too old now. He's too old. This is what you do. Like I said, my last semester in college, we opened the card shop. Okay. I was like literally going to the card shop and working, and then I got on my bike and I like rode to my classes. Like, you should be doing that shit in college. Like, you should be testing your business idea. This is why, like, Mark Zuckerberg and these guys, Sam Altman and these guys, like, drop out. Now, I'm not certainly comparing myself to them from an idea perspective and accomplishment perspective, but just gives you an idea. These guys are like balding and they're damn near middle age and they're going gray by the time they like do something in this hobby. Like, just do shit.
It's interesting. Yeah, it does seem like these guys are basically doing the same thing that they were when they blew up around COVID. And nothing has really changed. And you're right. Jeff Wilson is one of the few guys who makes content. There are a lot of people who have created businesses and kind of, they just maybe don't have the social reach. And we're on YouTube, so I think it's useful to talk about these YouTube guys. But Card Collector 2's profile in the hobby is probably shrunk a little bit.
Nobody cares about him in the hobby. The only place he gets talked about is on YouTube. What does the guy do? What does he contribute to the hobby overall? Okay, he puts out a video. Wow. How many people put out videos every week on cards, Ryan? Collectively.
That's become saturated, right? I think you're right. You have to zero in more. Stop chasing the views, but zero in more, at least on your own business and building the relationship that you need to acquire tons of cards. I saw a tweet from a guy. I don't know if he did it at the National or he did it online. He said, hey, I made, $10,000 this week flipping cards. I think you made more on the Kansas City Chiefs parking pass, but that's not here nor there. Hey, if you can make $10,000 in a week, that's not bad. That's what, $500,000 a year. That's give or take. That's not bad. What these guys should be making $10,000 a week flipping cards. I don't get the sense profit. Okay. Profit. $10,000 a week that they put in their fucking pocket as a profit per week flipping cards. I don't sense that is the case for most, if not most of these guys on YouTube. Maybe the guys who have a store, but again, they're leveraged up. They've got 18 employees and blah, 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 blah. And once you really nickel it down, these guys have maybe made 3.5% on the money.
They got a job. I mean, if you're at the shop, you're at the shop. If you're at the card show, I mean, this looks fun. We see the highlights of him being at the show. Anybody that's set up at a show and been there for 8 hours, it's a fucking grind. I mean, yeah, if you're 23, 25, but like literally Mojo's got gray on his beard and Jeff Wilson's going bald, Ryan. You know, at some point you got to grow up. Take your shit to the next level.
Yeah, shouldn't these guys be bigger than they are?
Yeah. How do we get on here, Ryan? And we're like, I don't know. You could be like, name one set that has come out in the last 30 days. And I swear to God, I can't name one set of fucking cards that has come out in the last 30 days. Can't tell you a fucking single set. But we've probably sold as many cards as these fucking dorks have. We probably have profit margin, not profit total, but the actual margin that we made selling the cards, probably higher than these guys. We didn't have to travel the country. We didn't tweet about it. We didn't fucking have to Instagram about it. We didn't have to get a camera crew and an editor and have lighting and sound and all this shit. It's the difference, Ryan, between fucking a wannabe and somebody that is actually him. It's a 99%, 1%. Some people think it has to do with race. Some think it has to do with where you're born. Some people have to think it's education. No. What I have found is 99% of people like to talk about doing shit, and 1% people just does it. Just does it. And that's what separates them. When I look at 99%, 1%, that's the one thing that I see where it's like, that's a 99%er.
I think these guys just want to be liked. They want this little interaction with these little juniors, which I don't even know if you should be interacting with these kids, but you know, they just want to be liked. And they just want the like. The conception of making $10,000 a week profit to them, I don't even think that's, unless Arena Club or whatnot fucking hands it to them on a silver platter. I don't even think they know where to begin.
I mean, the arena clubs and the whatnots, it's like, you know, that's what it is today. And in 6 to 12 months, it'll be another cohort. 6 to 12 months after that, it'll be another group. These things, it's just a rotate. You're on the hamster wheel. And in order to track them, you have to continue to make top of funnel content. But like I said, the top of the funnel has gotten educated on card shows. They've gone. If you've gone to a card show, I don't know why you need to sit around and watch about Mojo Burrow talking about a card show. Like, they've gone to it. They've spent their own money on the card show. They don't need to see Jeff Wilson spend his money at the card show. So we're getting a larger and larger percentage of the hobby, Ryan, that has actually just done it. They've gotten skunked on a box. They don't need me to sit here and tell you, you probably shouldn't buy 2025 Topps Chrome, guys, for $483 a box on a pre-sale, because you'll probably get $18 in cards. Everybody knows this. And if you send your cards to PSA, you're probably going to get 110 and a bunch of 8s, because the kids that work out here in Hermosa Beach are more worried about the skinny little girls that are walking around than your fucking baseball cards. So the top of funnel has been educated. I don't think the top of the funnel is we're not getting more of the top of the funnel into the hobby than we have in the past. But I think, Ryan, the top of the funnel that came in during COVID, a lot of these guys stayed, which is great. Now it's about turning them into a repeatable customer for you. If you have knowledge, you can sell that knowledge. Like, quit trying to sell the cards unless you're like Slab Arena. This is a really interesting business model to me. Has nothing to do with Arena Club or whatever. Just the business model altogether. This is going to work first of all, it's already working, and it's going to continue. It's the ability for it to continue to work is going to accelerate rapidly. We're going to be sitting a year from now and it'll be like, oh yeah, duh, these automatic opening packs and shit is pretty cool. In fact, you can click a button, open the pack, and sell the card or trade it or whatever. There's just going to be more and more capabilities. Obviously, once Fanatics gets in there and takes it over, it's going to be great.
I think these guys can make a living flipping cards, and I actually don't know why. I don't know why they waste time with the content unless it's to push you to sell them cards. The content to me is a waste of time, and it's just a vanity play. It's an ego thing. You know, you want the likes, you want the attention. Like Mojo doesn't have an email list. If you did want to sell him something, you'd have to reach out to him through social media, and you might land on one of the other businesses that is named Mojo.
Hey, how much do you think Arena Slab would have paid him if he had 18,000 active email subscribers with like a 60% open rate? They would have paid him 10 times as much. They would have paid him whatever PSA got paid, because that's the deal PSA ran. PSA was like, oh yeah, we'll click a button and send out a Courtyard IO email and get fucking probably 100% of the sale. Of course they will. If he's not getting 100%, 110, 115% of the sale on any traffic that he drives there, he's a fucking moron. Because the cost to acquire a customer at Arena Slab and the value of that customer, long-term value, is huge, huge. So if he did it for anything less than multiple thousands of dollars and 110% of any sale, he's a fucking idiot.
Yeah, I don't know the economics behind these influencers, what they're getting paid for these ad deals. Again, we had the Arena Club guy blowing me up. I have to go back through the text. When we were doing our regular live show, they wanted to, sponsor the show or whatever, open packs or whatever the deal was. And it's just not really our thing unless the money is Kansas City, half the stadium for the Kansas City Chiefs. Doesn't really interest us. Again, because we've been there, done that. We've set up at dozens of card shows. We owned our own card shop. I was the first sports card vlogger at the National when they would tell me to stop filming at the National just 10 years ago. These guys should be making $5,000 to $10,000, if not more, per week flipping sports cards. I'm convinced of that. I saw multiple people post on X, on Twitter this week, talking about how much they made at the National. I don't think that minus out the expenses. You're probably spending about $1,000 a day over there on hotel and food and coin flip and all the little stuff. Yeah. But if you're putting racks and stacks into your pocket, you can certainly spend a few thousand a day on strippers and cocaine or nice hotel rooms or whatever you want. Yeah. These guys aren't making enough flipping cards, is my take. And so that's why you continue to see these guys pivot, or they take these lukewarm sponsorship deals where they're probably not getting a bag. This guy should be making hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not into the seven figures, on sports cards, given how much time, energy, and effort these guys put into it. If Mojo went live right now, would he have more viewers than us?
There's three of us here, so
somewhat, yeah, right. So I guess we count as three.
We're 100 each.
But it should be embarrassing that these guys, one, don't have the reach. And again, you don't need the reach. It's the money. Here he is giving away to these fucking money to these kids.
Yeah, I don't know why you do it. If again, it is kind of the 99% attitude to just do something and just be average. And I think we talked about that on the last time. And I think that's what kicked off a little bit of the kind of the discussion around the influencers and stuff. I basically was like, hey, you guys are comfortable making average content. In fact, and that's not me saying that. Several influencers got in front of the camera and was like, I'm okay with just clicking the average content And I respect that Jeff Wilson has an editor and a light. Oh my God, he has an editor and some lighting. Oh my fucking God. Wow. I've never seen a guy that's did that. And also, that's just an excuse. I've never had an editor. I've barely worked. In fact, the lighting from all my investor videos is a fish tank. I've got a fish tank fucking sitting up in front of me. That's the light that shines through on my thing. I've done YouTube video. I did a YouTube video today sitting on this fucking couch holding the microphone. I've never paid an editor. I've never fucking done shit. I've had a decent mic and I've followed it through with a fair amount of knowledge. And I think I'm 20 million views into some fucking investing shit. And everybody's like, oh my God, editor, I need some fucking lighting. No, what you need to do is get on the fucking mic and actually say something that is some value. Actually fucking tell people what is going on in the hobby. It could be all positive. Ryan, I could be on here and be like, fuck, the hobby is on fire. Do you see the comps? They're up 17, 18% across the board. Then when you look at fucking Ohtani, his shit's up huge. You have Kevin O'Leary tweeting about cards. You have Shine still flying on the private jet, doing the coke, fucking showing off his cards. Go to the golden auction, the PWCC auction, or whatever they call this shit, Ryan. We've got record after fucking record after record. Even when you go down to kind of the quote mainstream shit, Michael Jordan cards are selling for more money than they did a year ago. You even have, Caitlin Clark cards still selling strong. There's still strong sales across the board. There's huge amount of liquidity in this hobby. You can have a card. It doesn't matter if it's Zion Williamson, Michael Jordan, or Ohtani. You can take it to a show and get cashed out for it. That's never happened before. I don't have to take a picture of it, put it on eBay, have to pack and ship this shit. They literally will buy it for you sight unseen. We've got repackers offering value out of a repack that well exceeds what you're getting out of a hobby box. You buy a $400 hobby box from Topps, you might get $10 in cards. You get slapped at Arena Slab motherfucking pack, and you might lose 20, 30, 40% on the money. But I can turn around and click a button and get paid out. Ryan, the hobby's never been in a better spot. You can go to the National, and you were there filming this shit well before any of these guys were even stopped sucking their mom's fucking titties. It's fucking packed, and they're in fucking Chicago, some fucking third city in the United States. It's the hobby is on fucking fire. You should be on here. You could be pumping it just like I did. I went on a 2-minute rant where all I did was pump the fucking hobby, Ryan. You could get on and do that every single motherfucking day, and you would crush.
Why doesn't one of these guys go full pump? Full pump PSA, full pump Fanatics. Just everything's the greatest fucking thing they've ever fucking seen.
BLE shit. Because it actually is pretty good. We've seen it. And we're not, the problem is, Ryan, these guys are still learning. Jeff Wilson and Mojo, they're still actually, it takes a while. That's the reason why we can get on here and say we did this shit, because we did it and we learned. We opened a card shop. We had our own wholesale license. We dealed cards. We've bought and sold on every platform you can possibly think of. We've gotten offered every brand deal these guys have all gotten offered. We've seen the companies come and go. We've had conference calls with the companies and talking about their business. We've made money affiliate marketing. We've made money on YouTube. We've gotten YouTube fucking plaques and play buttons. We've gotten millions of fucking views. We've had the industry fucking on our back. We've had the industry pat our ass. These guys are still learning it and going through it. It's just like your son. You could look at your son and be like, damn, he has all the talent in the world. He should be doing this. He should be banging this chick. He should be doing this. He should be in college. He should go to Harvard. But it's going to take your son wanting to do it. And these guys are still little babies coming out of the womb just off the titty. This includes like Jeff Wilson. People look at Jeff Wilson. Oh my God, he's so big. Motherfucker's still getting off the tit when it comes to knowledge. I mean, yeah. And that's why he busts his ass. On the sneak tip, this motherfucker feels inferior. The father-in-law probably looks at this guy and like, man, Jeff, you lucked the fuck out. Wife fucking got a bag. Raising the family, popped out some children, and look at you fucking fondling pictures of fucking men in a third tier industry. Fucking loser, and you're going bald. You just accomplished this shit and fucking you could have been doing this shit in your 20s if you fucking had your shit together. It's like, you just turned 40, your wife got 20 million, and that's what got you to turn your shit. Oh, and the government gave you $3 million. That turned your shit around. Finally, fucking Jeff. That's how I look at him. The rest of the industry is right. Oh my God, Jeff. Wow, he's gotten so big. He can get 18,000 views on a video in 3 hours. Wow, he has 400,000 subscribers. But my God, he's going bald, and he literally just got his shit together in the last 2 years after he got $2 million from the government and his wife got 20. You better have your shit fucking together if that's the case. God damn. Gotta be kidding me. This guy's a fucking loser. Yeah. Motherfucker hit the lotto. Should be doing shit like this. And the rest of these guys, he's still learning the hobby. Jeff's still learning the hobby, and he's learned a lot. And we'll have people call in. Well, Jeff's learned a lot, and it's gotten a lot better. Yeah, I bet fucking yeah. You've probably gotten a lot better at talking to girls, but you haven't stuck your dick in one. So it's like, fuck. Get better. Level the fuck up. These guys are in the same spot that they were 3 years ago, but they got more bills, less views, less funnels into, ways to monetize this. Nobody has any of these motherfuckers' email address. How the fuck do you not have the email address of every fucking person that you've ever interacted with? That's worth a shit ton of money if you have that. I know that. I barely got 5,000 emails, and I can make $1 million off of that. These guys have 0 emails, and they fucking need Slab Pack to fucking call them. And then when Slab Pack goes out of business, we'll hope the next one fucking needs me. Fucking losers.
Yeah, I feel like these guys should be bigger than they are. I just feel like they should be making more money. They should have more relationships. They should have a stronger position in the verticals that they've kind of participated in, whether they've opened a shop, whether they're hustling at shows, whether they're doing this content. Like, his views, it looks like, have gotten a little better, but from the standpoint of this is the #1 guy in the hobby. And I feel like somebody could literally just pick the topic and I could get as many or more views than all these videos that this motherfucker has put up, unless he's opened something that's worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. And the video itself cost a lot of money to make because he's opening a 50-year-old pack, or he's doing something, he's spending $1 million. And Jeff's the top guy. Like you said, and you have our guy Mojo Sports, who's over here contemplating his next move. How are you fucking contemplating your next move in a thriving sports card industry? Like, these guys should be fucking crushing it. That does not look like enough money. Colin, you made all that money on like one parking pass to the fucking Kansas City Chiefs game that you sold to Shaniqua 6 months ago, that she probably doesn't even remember that she bought. This doesn't make any sense. These guys should be balling out of control or on the way to it. It was a Discord guy who said he made 10,000 in a week. He had to spend 90,000 to make 10 grand. Don't introduce him to Kansas City Chiefs tickets, but these guys should be balling. I don't know if it's the time that it takes. They've never done it. They've never leveled up a business. They're unsure about, are they a content creator? Are they a card seller? Are they a card shop owner? Are they an influencer? Are they not an influencer? Are they an advertiser?
You just got to pick one thing and be great at it. You got to, I think that's like laser focus on one thing. Like, what a lot of people suffer from is like this idea, because what they see is like, they see like me being like, okay, I sold Kansas City Chiefs tickets. I posted a video on YouTube last week that got, I think I looked today. I post one video a week on YouTube that gets about 7,000 to 10,000 views. But every single week, that one video brings in about $10,000. It's about a 20-minute video. Takes me another maybe 15 minutes to edit it. So I spend about 35
How much? Minutes. One video makes $20,000?
Yeah, not 10. with it's not a pump video. It's a very subtle push to the call to action during the video. Yeah, it's educational, it's informative, it's like whatever. Now, I spent 4 or 5 years posting content to get to that point, but that's where we're at with these guys, Ryan. These guys are 4 or 5 years in, and they're just now opening a card shop. And people look at these guys like, oh my God, wow, they're at the pinnacle of this shit. And we're looking at them like, what the fuck?
The shop should be the loss leader for you, or the deal flow for you. Like the shop should just be, oh, it's a good tax write-off because I make fucking $1.8 million on this shit. Let me go blow $250,000 on a card shop just as a vanity tax write-off. The fuck are these guys doing? How are they not bigger? How the fuck are they not bigger?
Well, again, bigger can be in air quotes and can be relative. How are you not? How is your business not bigger? That's how I would phrase it. How is their business not bigger? How is it that Arena Club is coming to you? How are you not Arena Club? You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing special about Arena Club. In fact, they needed Jeff Wilson to pump the fuck out of this. They needed Mojo to pump the fuck out of this. How are you not fucking Arena Club? How'd you not do that? Because you're fucking fat and fucking lazy and balding and fucking a loser and unskilled. Really not that skilled.
Or how about be selling them 30% of the cards that funnel into the repacks come from you, because the deal flow comes from you because you've amassed all this following on YouTube.
Here's the deal. That's going away too. Because Ryan, these guys are just going to give us prepaid labels. I mean, it basically happens now, but this is going to become a big, big thing. Why do I need to go to a show, stand in line, and have Brian Gray give me 90 off? Why can't I just put this stuff in a FedEx box and slap a prepaid label on it? And then in 4 days after it gets delivered, it's all priced out and I get 90 off. That's all I want. That's what's coming. It's coming from Fanatics and Tops. They will run that operation where it's literally the whole thing is just going to be the packages come in. It's all going to be automated. It's all automated now. You can scan these cards, and for the most part, it lists them. So they're going to be able to just bring the card in. It's going to scan it. Okay, we're going to give the customer 90 off. It's going to go into the repack. And that's all digital, and it's just a conveyor line of this stuff. That's where the hobby's going.
And you don't have to deal with Jeff and Mojo at the front of the entrance of each show.
Oh yeah, I remember that last year when they're at the front of the fucking Cleveland National, in front of all the handicap people and the people fucking who've been there for 20 minutes.
Fuck. Trying to get their promo pack fucking redeemed and shit. So they want to be seen. They don't want their wallet to get bigger. And in Jeff's case, he doesn't have to, because he had his PPP. He gets the government money, the government grift, and then his wife got 20 million. And this is why I guarantee you, his father-in-law, if his father-in-law doesn't look at Jeff Wilson like he's a fucking loser, I'd be shocked. I'd be shocked, because if that was my daughter, I'd be like, this motherfucker.
Do you think? I mean, it seems like I've watched 6 or 7 videos in the last, I don't know, couple of weeks where people talking about content dead and this, and everybody's making their argument. Do you think the audience, just is seeking new voices, or just wants some new voices?
I don't think so. I just think they're tired. The fatigue of this content it's over. You go to the National, it's a vlog. It's going to peak out at a certain level. And so when somebody does get on and say something slightly different, yeah, it's not going to get 40,000 views, but it'll resonate and it'll start a conversation because it's different. It's different than, oh my God, look at the fucking Trey Lance. Nobody gives a care. Nobody gives a fuck anymore. Nobody gives a fuck. I watched this and it's just, this is 99% brain dead content. It's not teaching me anything. It's not advancing my career. It's not advancing my skills. It's not doing anything for me. And when you produce this kind of content, guess who you're competing against, Ryan? Mr. Beast, Netflix, Disney, the professionals. When you create brain dead content where I can just sit there and just be like, oh, cool, Mojo, thumbs up, making deals, it doesn't do anything for you. So you're competing against the best of the best, because that's Mr. Beast is making that content. Mr. Beast just wants you to watch this shit and just be like, oh wow, last took hand off Lamborghini. Oh shit, wow, that was amazing. They spent 30 days in jail. Oh, and that's what happened. Cool. Yeah, that's his content. I'm not disrespecting him at all. What he's doing is fantastic, but that's what you're competing against when you make brain dead content. Okay, you're competing against everything on Netflix. Everybody's like, I watch Netflix 3 hours a day. How do you fuck you watch Netflix? I haven't watched Netflix in 8 years. I don't even know what I pay for Netflix. I don't even know how to log in or what's on there, because it's all just brain dead fucking all these people that watch movies, Ryan. Oh, did you watch the movie? I don't watch fucking movies. You think I watch movies? Fucking you. What do you learn from watching a fucking movie? Watching a movie gonna make I'll put a nickel in my bank account? I'm not interested. And look, if you got a bunch of nickels in your bank account, yeah, sit around and watch this shit. Watch fucking Netflix. But chances are 99% of people watching this shit doesn't have 3 nickels in their bank account or 3 extra nickels. They'd actually notice it.
I think they just want to be liked. They want to be liked. They want to be, quote unquote, be somebody in the hobby.
I think they're just learning. They're just learning what they like. They're learning what they like, and they like people liking that they're learning. And they think this is running a business. This is a career, because this is exciting for them. With Jeff, it's like, he needed the government and his wife to get a bag for him to actually do something. He would literally get on videos and say he was a tech investor. I can't even say it with a straight face. He said he was a tech investor by day. Ryan, we're in California. We're in Hermosa Beach. There ain't no motherfucking tech investing happen here. There might be tech investors that own the real estate. I guarantee you that. I know Larry Ellison owns like 4 of them right up here. So there are tech investors in California, but there ain't no tech investing happening in Hermosa Beach, let alone fucking Atlanta, fucking Georgia. The Mercedes set up shop, Ryan. Mercedes-Benz set up shop in Atlanta, Georgia. Do you know, or in Georgia? You know why? Because they got a bunch of low IQ motherfuckers that live there, and they would come and build the fucking Mercedes for the rich man. That's why they set up there. That's why you have the Mercedes-Benz fucking, and in Louisiana and shit and all these places. Yeah. BMW, South Carolina, exact same thing. Why'd they set up in South Carolina? It wasn't because it was a great place to fucking attract high-end talent. In fact, just the opposite. You had a bunch of you dumb fucking yokels that lived there that would go build cars for $18 an hour and a pension when they got to 65. Can't do that out in California. Got to fucking be a tech investor, actual tech investor, not a fucking fake one like Jeff Wilson. This guy fooled the whole hobby. Half the people watching this believed. Oh, they probably still believe motherfucker's a tech investor. Motherfucker hasn't like what tech company has ever invested in that's ever done shit. There he is.
There's our boy.
Ultimate.
We got 2 of them. We got our boy Dan in the video too.
It's fantastic. We know all these. The fams. We'll see them tomorrow. I don't know. What else are we talking about? We're an hour and a half in. Is anybody going to call in? Is there a way to drop this fucking link in here? I pay $80 a month for StreamYard so we can go live 1 time, 2 times a year, 3 times a year, 4 times a year. Yeah, every month the charge hits my card.
We had a ton of comments on our last live stream. Everybody was just angry about this, that, and the other thing. And here's your time to call in.
Everybody angry about the hobby's in an unbelievable position. This is fantastic. You're just paying attention to the guys that are still learning the hobby. Jeff Wilson's still learning the hobby, so he's showing it off. It's exciting to him. It's like, wow, I'm learning something. Wow, I have a business that is actually something that people want. Wow. This is exciting for him. Whereas like Ryan and I look at this and we're like, bro, you should have been doing this when you were like 20, like 19. You should have been doing this. Like when we got our first wholesale license, I don't even think we could drink legally.
Well, there was a line around the fucking Rosemont or the Donald E. Stevenson Center in Rosemont.
Fucking God.
I never seen
that.
Crowds like
God
that.
damn, when we had our wholesale license and we could get any of this product, that we could have a line out the fucking door, it'd be fucking great.
What's wrong? Yeah, what's wrong with these guys?
Why
does the content suck? Why don't they make a fucking shit ton more money?
They're learning. They're still in like experimentation phase and they're learning the business.
Most of them can't even come out to the West Coast because it's probably too expensive. And it went from Fanatics Fest to the National to Burbank. Oh, we can't make that trip. You guys should be making money hand over fist. $10,000 profit per. If you're a card flipper and you're not making $10,000 profit per week, what the fuck are you doing? Get the fuck up at 3 a.m. and start grinding on the East Coast. Get on the Discords. Get on social
How do you
media.
not have an email list? And you should, the email list should be funneling cards and then out the door. Like I talked to all these guys, Ryan, with Whatnots, and I'm like, hey, what's the commission on Whatnot? And they talk, like fluctuates a little bit or whatever. It's probably 8 to 10% or whatever it is. But they're taking 8 to 10% of the sale. And I'm like, well, wait a second. Why don't you just run a free, instead of running the free giveaway on Whatnot, run like 3 months of free giveaways, but you got to get your email address. And now I can send that email address to a Shopify, which might take 3%. Why wouldn't you do that? At the very least, Ryan, why don't you do a Substack to where it's like the organic traffic comes in? Why don't you have these people's email list? Provide some value.
People talk shit on our boy on Jab's family. At least he has a Patreon. That's $5 a month, I think, to even access his breaks. At least he's fucking done something, right? Where he does have a monthly revenue from his subscription. He's one of the few guys that has that. I don't understand it. These guys should be making, again, if you are a card flipper out there, and that's what you call yourself, that's what you tell your wife that you do for a living, it should be $10,000 a week profit, period, without even leaving your couch, without even going to these fucking stupid shows. You should be making $10,000 a week. You just buy cards at 60, 70%. You get a relationship with a repacker and you sell to them for 80 or 90%. It really actually doesn't sound that hard. That's why Brian Gray's still sitting around with his fat ass with all his money and doling out cards, because he buys cards at 70, 80% and he sells it to Backyard
instantly.
Or one of you guys. That's the game, guys. And if you're not doing that, or if you're complaining about it, or if you can't, if you're
or if
not
that ruins the hobby, how's that ruin the hobby? You know what I mean?
I think people have tried to make that argument that these repackers are look, did repackers ruin the Dallas card show? Again, I didn't watch the video, so I don't know what his argument was. Have repackers ruined card shows? Again, if you guys go to card shows and you speak to these old-time stupid ass fucking dealers who've never really made a nickel in their life, yeah, they're going to be mad at the repackers coming in and taking their business and buying stuff at 80 to 90% because nobody's going to them to sell cards anymore. This is a free market society, guys. If you want to move to China or fucking Russia, be my fucking guest. Free market society.
What?
If somebody wants to sell cards, sell it to them. If you have a problem with it, offer 95%, offer 98%, offer 110%. Bunch of fucking babies in this industry.
And Ryan, I can't believe that. Did repackers ruin the card show? And I understand this is a headline, got to get it clicked, and it worked because it made it on our shit or whatever. But it's like, I listened. I don't think I listened to Mojo's, but I listened to the other guy. It may not have been that video, maybe have been a take in another one. But he's talking about like, wow, there's all these repackers here, and it's now. I think he did a thing where it was like, if you're just a collector, you're a speck of dust, and now the repackers are like owning the thing. It's like, that's not true at all. Search completed auctions on eBay every day, and you'll see all this. Sell a bunch of low end garbage like we do, and you see like, oh my God, like holy shit, this hobby is huge. These repackers are just one tiny aspect of it, and the fact that they're at these shows giving people liquidity instantly, sight unseen, really doesn't care what the card is. That's amazing. That's amazing that we have that. That's unbelievable.
And you never could have envisioned that 10 years ago when I was going to the cricket convention.
I don't know why.
You couldn't even sell cards there unless it was a 1952 fucking Mickey Mantle.
Ryan, I talk shit on you going to the National then, and just like I'm talking shit on people going now. I have never changed my opinion about this. You would go to this shit and you would be excited about it. And I was like, why the fuck is this motherfucker going to this shit? Like that was always my opinion. I've been like, people are like, why don't you go to the National? Fuck, I don't want to go to the National. Pay fucking money out of my own pocket to fly out of California to go into Cleveland. to go to you went to Cleveland, Atlantic City,
City.
the outskirts of fucking Chicago. Where else? Those three
Baltimore.
cities. And Baltimore.
Yeah, it's rough there.
Yeah, I can understand. 90% of you guys live in these shitholes where it's like dog shit. Whether it ain't like you can't walk out, like we can go outside and see like fucking girls that are like cute and shit. I understand most people can't fucking do that. Like literally cute in a bikini. Like I understand most people don't have that. Like I'm gonna pay to leave that environment to go to fucking Baltimore. I would be like, why the fuck are you going to this shit? You know what I mean?
Fun. It was. I mean, you've been to a card show. It can be fun, and especially back in those days when there actually wasn't a lot of. There was like no people, and I could walk around, and we know some people, for over a decade, some of these people, and it was a fun. And it was the one time a year there wasn't the Dallas card show, there wasn't the Burbank card show, there wasn't the local card show up the street that got fucking you couldn't even get into.
Yeah,
those didn't exist. Like card shows basically didn't exist before COVID. So going to the National, to me, it was fun. I went 6 or 7 straight years, and it was fun. It was worth it. I should have bought, way more stuff. I should have put the camera away and bought way more stuff, but that's hindsight. And I don't think anybody at that time could see what was going to happen in this industry. And that's why it should be so exciting for these people. It should be so fucking exciting every day to wake up and talk about sports cards and pump the shit out of this. Like I could make a channel, I could make a video where I just pump the shit out of Fanatics or PSA or anything that any of these motherfuckers are doing, and you say it with conviction and you pump the fuck, not like lukewarm, like, maybe if you like it or buy what you want or collect what you want or shut the fuck up. Get on one side or the other here. And in respect to the repackers, look, I'm with you. We live in a free market fucking society. If I want to buy a bunch of sports tickets, I should be allowed to buy them. If I want to buy a bunch of sports cards, I should be allowed to buy them. And guess what? If you don't like them, if you want them too, offer 95%. Offer more, guys. What the fuck is wrong with you guys? Clearly, none of you guys were around 10 years ago where there wasn't a repacker or a motherfucker buying cards.
I think it's great. I think it's great.
I think it's great. This is what is going to fuel the growth in this hobby. Is the gambling nature, is the being able to provide liquidity to people who do buy cards.
I think it's fantastic. Let's go to questions. I'll say it over and over again. Jeff is a fraud. 400K sub, 100K views on his videos. Can't sniff 2,500 live views. Giving away shit. How the hobby puts up with that ass clown is crazy. I mean, 400K subs, 100K views. Not impressive to me. 2,500 live viewers, not impressive. What he's doing, 20-year-old kids should be doing. Some 20-year-old kids are doing. Motherfucker's balding. He's 40. He should be doing good. And he got $3 million from the government paid. He's a fucking supposed tech investor in Atlanta, Georgia, which doesn't exist. And his wife sold a business for $20 million.
Well, wait a minute. Isn't it somewhat embarrassing for the amount of money this guy has spent on this shit that he doesn't have more of a reach? Like, isn't it actually somewhat embarrassing that
I'm embarrassed for him that he's not more successful than he is at the age of, how old is he? He's got to be older than we are.
I think he's about our age.
And I'm just talking from a business perspective. Maybe he's a great father. Maybe he spent a ton of time there, and that's what delayed his growth as a businessman. But I'm just sitting here with the knowledge that we have, knowing the facts of the situation. The facts are he had a PPP loan, 2 of them that were forgiven, and that business like fucking basically went under. It was gone. Business doesn't even print money for him anymore. Like, how's this guy, like, he better be doing this. Like, people look at Jeff and they're like, wow. I look at him and be like, that's how it should be. And again, the 99%, 1% kind of attitude on things. 1% looks at somebody and is like, you should be achieving shit. 99% is like, wow, oh, wow, cool. I'm going to watch him open a pack of fucking cards. He doesn't even understand what's going on here. And oh, he's got the PSA guy there, so he's going to run it over to PSA, and I bet they'll slap some pretty cool grades on it. Oh, wow, and he has a video editor, Ryan, that made some graphics and then just dropped the video in there. Oh, my God, not that you couldn't do that in 10 minutes on Premiere Pro yourself.
Well, no offense to anybody watching, but you can scroll through some of our comments and see why, I mean, look at this guy. I'm sitting here in South Carolina, and should I unsub and say fuck it to Sports Card Radio? They're both narcissists, egotistical douchebags, but they put out good content. I mean, this is what you get. I mean, watch a Mojo sports video. Look at the people surrounding Mojo. This guy's videos. Look at the people surrounding, and they'll tell you everything you need to know about the hobby.
Hey, and here's the deal. South Carolina is a beautiful state. And in fact, I could see myself potentially living there one day if the weather wasn't so shitty. You know how many people talk shit on California every single day online, in my face, to me, DMs, talking about California? Do you hear the sound of crickets? That's how much I give a fuck. I'm on the beach. The sunset just sit here. You can literally walk out here 2 steps right outside this door, and you'll see a bunch of chicks in their 20s fucking wearing basically nothing. Life could be a hell of a lot worse in California, guys. Hell of a lot worse. If you're broke, it sucks. If you're homeless, obviously it sucks. If you have to live in Oakland or Fremont or Stockton or any of these third world cities in California, yeah, your life fucking sucks. But if you're a 1% guy and you're making 1% money, California doesn't fucking suck. And I probably will come on here and sound a little ego-fucking-tistical, but you know what is egotistical and narcissist? Mr. Snap fucking Sniff fucking whatever your fucking name is. You know what egotistical is, Ryan? Is getting on and saying, oh, I'm a tech investor by day, and then by night I invest in sports cards. And the motherfucker couldn't do either very well at all. In fact, he got a $2 million PPP loan forgiven by you, the American fucking taxpayer. And oh, he never told you that the only successful tech investor that was successful in the Wilson household was actually his motherfucking wife, who gave birth to multiple children, and I'm sure had a big role to play in raising those motherfucking children. That was the only successful tech investor in the Wilson household, but he got on his video and never told you anything about her. The hobby wouldn't know shit about his wife and the success she's had if it wasn't for Sports Card Radio. That's egotistical and narcissist as fuck to get on there and be like, I'm the man. No, your wife is the fucking man. Your wife is the successful motherfucker in that relationship, not you. But you got into the hobby and you said, oh, I'm cool. I'm a tech investor, even though I live all the way across from California where all the tech investing happens. I'm a tech investor because I got on Robinhood and I took my wife's 20 million and I bought 5 shares of Google. That's not a tech investor. And then to say, oh, I invest in sports cards. Oh, and Will Grier's a 4 times better investment than Kyler fucking Murray. He literally told you guys that. And you let him off the hook. And he told you all this different tech investing and stock market and card advice that never fucking came true. That's narcissist. That's egotistical. Your wife being the success, but other people in the hobby actually had to tell you guys that. It's, oh, I got $2 million forgiven by the government, and then I posted on Instagram bawling out while you guys were all wearing masks and fucking shut down. I went around the country flexing my shit because I got my $2 million paid off. That's egotistical and narcissist, guys. The fact that I sit here and I work hard for my money and I want to take 2 days to go to the West Coast card show, I'm not going to film any content. I'm not going to say, oh, look at me spending a bunch of thousands of dollars. I'm not looking for a brand deal. Just looking to tell you, hey, the hobby's in a great spot. Unsub and watch Jeff Wilson. You'll sit there and you'll be brain dead. You'll be as intelligent next week as you are this week.
Here's an ad.
Why don't we just post ads? Like here's an ad just for PSA magazine. Like, we could just run ads. Or you can be very dead to watch this. Be
Hey, Ryan,
inspired.
you know how often I think about Gavin Newsom? And I live in the state where he's the governor.
Yeah, Zeke's cards. You guys think
Same.
way more about
Way
Gavin
more
Newsom
about Gavin
than
Newsom.
we do, bro. Fucking A.
I never, I don't even know Gavin Newsom's the governor, Ryan. I wouldn't notice it. And this is a phenomenon that if you don't live in California, you don't realize this. You
No,
literally
nobody cares about
don't-
Gavin Newsom.
You don't think about Gavin Newsom. You don't even know that he exists basically in California because he doesn't. He's irrelevant here. And if you have money, basically all the shit he does caters to you because all the homelessness is in Oakland. I don't have to live in Oakland.
No.
I don't have to go to Oakland. Why the fuck would I go to Oakland? I don't have to go to Oakland. Yeah, if you're broke and you have to live in Oakland, it sucks for you. But I don't have to live there.
It's a mix of Gavin Newsom and
Well, you guys,
Karen Bass.
you guys
the
are getting
LA
played by the media.
mayor.
You guys
They're
get played by the
terrible.
media and ginned up by the media every day. That's Gavin Newsom and this person and this person. Like,
You don't mean
turn
shit.
it off, guys.
It's-
Turn
it's-
it off.
Doesn't mean shit.
Don't mean shit. We're literally in California right now. Gavin Newsom.
More
don't
people
guys.
voted for
We're
Trump
still
in
making
California
money.
than any
We're
other
still
state.
making money versus like
It's a red state that votes blue. It's a red state that votes blue. It's a red state that votes blue.
scam. It's a scam.
Ryan, why'd you move to Arizona? Aside from all the pretty girls. that live there.
Arizona's amazing. I just, it's where I feel comfortable. It's where I get the most work done. It's where I just it feels like a very small California to me. Very small. I mean, there's no traffic. You drive 20 minutes and park in Old Town, and you can drive anywhere, park anywhere. No traffic. Beautiful women. Good weather 8 months out of the year. Way cheaper. I mean, it doesn't even compare. But if it wasn't for Arizona, I'd be back in California because this place is. And again, I've traveled around the country, traveled around the world, been to 7 nationals, been to multiple cities. There's nothing that even compares to California. You guys get fucking rizzed up by the media. It's embarrassing. You guys should just turn off the fucking TV, turn off Twitter. Get your algorithm into something else other than Gavin Newsom and politics, because ain't nobody, these motherfucking houses burned down, guys, like fucking a few miles from here. Ain't nobody gives a fuck about Gavin Newsom. So neither should you, especially if you live out in South Carolina. Like, get a fucking clue. South Carolina is amazing. Like, just worry about your own local politics. Ain't nobody give a fuck. And guess what? In California, we don't talk about the politics in Alabama and fucking Tennessee and this and Timbuktu. Y'all do whatever the fuck you want. We don't give a fuck. The weather's beautiful out here. There should be a tax for that. In Arizona right now, it's 114 degrees. Yes, I'd pay an extra fucking racks per month to live in Hermosa Beach, so I don't have to deal with fucking 115. Let alone some of these other fucking environments and places people live. But nobody wants to. I love how all these motherfuckers talk shit, but you guys never call in. You guys are a bunch of fucking pussies.
I put a all call out there.
You guys talk about. We got a comment to read from our last live stream. I feel bad. This guy left 3 comments. So I want to Tim D-E9T if you're watching. There's 3 comments. Here's the first 2. He says, "What is your We'll answer these, but let me read the comments." He says, "What is your relationship with Ken Golden? You both were fighting, and he publicly called you both a derogatory name. Called us a derogatory name. Didn't call anybody else. Called us. So maybe we should be the ones that care. What are your thoughts about the lawsuit with the Spiegel brothers?" And then I don't read or respond to the comments anymore. He said, "Second attempt. What is your relationship with Ken? Your thoughts about the Spiegel brothers? You didn't address the topic on your live stream." And then he came back and edited another comment and said, "Okay, it's obvious. You're not going to answer. So be it. Whatever. You showed what you're about. You two are the Howard Sterns of the hobby." That probably actually shows his age more than us. Great starting out, but if you're referencing Howard Stern, bro, you're 50 plus. Like, bro, Howard Stern's too old for us. We're old as fuck. Yeah, but come on, bro. Great starting out, but you jumped the shark. He says sad but true, but they won't address it specifically. Okay, what is our relationship with Ken Golden? We are on a group text with Ken Golden. our history with Sports Card Radio, you can go back here and somebody with AI or somebody really tech savvy can search our website, which goes back to 2008, guys. And I want somebody to do this, whether it's one of these little guys in the hobby or whatever making videos. Go back, search our website, search our content for 16 years. And guess what? We never mentioned Ken Golden. Breaking news. We put up thousands of articles. Colin made 237 podcasts, and I bet you can't find one reference of Ken Golden. This touches on the Gavin Newsom stuff. You guys were rizzed up by a couple videos I made about Ken Golden where I dragged his drama from the 1990s when I was literally a little kid out from the woodwork and made a couple videos because he insulted us. It wasn't about you guys. Wasn't about anything else. He called us a name. I wanted to make sure everybody in this hobby realized that if you call a name, I'm going to make a solo video about you and fucking dunk on you. And that's what I did. In 15 years, we never mentioned Ken Golden. So we never were fighting with him or had this thing for him or were out for him. We never mentioned him. Again, I want to reiterate this. Never mentioned him. He called us a name. I made a couple videos. It got a lot of publicity. Ken Golden, being kind of the sharp business guy that he is, he kept blowing us up and asking us if we wanted to do a business deal with him. Imagine if Jeff Wilson did that. Imagine if one of these other guys that we've made fun of did that. Had the balls or the smarts to do that. What do I think about the Spiegels Brothers lawsuit? That is where somebody who had a LeBron James exquisite card, rookie card, which is worth like $1 million, literally, tried to sell it on Golden. Golden took it down because he had evidence that maybe the patch was fake. So Ken Golden, being an auction seller, marketplace owner, decided to take the card down. What do I think about the Spiegel brothers? I think they should take their $1 million card that none of you guys can afford, none of you guys are ever going to own, and he should sell it somewhere else. He can go sell it on Fanatics. He can go sell it on eBay. He can go sell it on Discord. He can go sell it at the National. He can go sell it at the Dallas Card Show. He can take it up 30 minutes up the road and take it to the West Coast Card Show. That's what, and I think somebody like Ken Golden or Fanatics Collects or Brent Higgins or PWCC, if they think a card might have a fake patch and they want to take it down, aren't we supposed to clap them for that, guys? Look, I get you guys hate Ken Golden. I get you guys, and maybe the way he comes across rubs you the wrong way. Certainly when he called us, I can't remember what it was. What did he call us? I can't even remember what he said, but he insulted us. And so I made a video about him dragging up his shit.
Jack-offs.
We have since, guys, believe it or not, we have since made up with Ken. I have talked to him on the phone. Both of us have. We have his number. We can text. We've done a business deal together. That's okay, guys. Guess what? That's okay. Take a deep breath. That's okay.
Some of my best. See, I think people they think, you do business with people, and it's like, some of my best business deals started out with me talking shit on the guy, talking shit on their business, being critical of them. That actually Ryan, here's a pro tip, and this will completely go over the head of all these fucking yokels. But if you want to get the attention of somebody, tell them something that nobody else around them is telling them. If you surround yourself with a bunch of yes men, they're like, oh yeah, great idea. Fuck. You're gonna be screwed. Surround yourself with a guy that's been like, you're a fucking idiot. Fuck you doing? You should be doing it like this. You could do this. You could do this, or you're fucking stupid. Then all of a sudden the guy wants to have a conversation with you. So some of my best conversations have actually started with me being like, this guy's a moron. And then the guy calls me and he's like, you called me a moron. Tell me more.
Colin, it was one of the best business transactions in the history of Sports Card Radio. For 16 years, we never talked about Ken Golden. I want to reiterate that. We never talked about him. We talked about him for a month or two. Then we ended up with a business deal. Half this hobby thinks he's still going to sue us, or that he was going to sue us. Guys, he was never going to sue us. Ended up being a positive business deal for us. I could text Ken right now and ask him a question about cards or an auction that he has, and he would probably respond.
Or if we needed to sell something,
Or if we needed to sell something,
you know,
guys, it's okay. It's okay to have. He called us a derogatory name. He didn't call you guys a derogatory name. He called us a derogatory name. We took it in. I responded. And since then, we've hashed out the beef. I feel like we've talked about this on numerous occasions. Maybe not, though. Maybe not. Mr. Tim D-E9T, I hope you're watching. I didn't
oh,
respond.
he's watching. He's watching.
He is watching.
I guarantee you.
Tim,
Guarantee you.
if there's anything, and again,
What else you go watch in the hobby?
Tim, with the Spiegel Brothers stuff, guys, if an auction, if a marketplace, eBay, Golden, ComC, Heritage, Pristine, Arena Club, if they want to take down a card because they question the authenticity of the patch, or if it's been trimmed, or if it's been rubbed with Kurtz juice, we're supposed to applaud them for that, you fucking morons.
Yeah, I mean, the lawsuit's a completely different thing. I haven't even, like, you had to remind me of what's going on in the lawsuit. Like you said, we're worried about somebody else's $1 million card, somebody else's multi-million-dollar website auction house thing, and, you know, like somebody else's lawsuit. This is why you're going to be broke. If you're spending all your day worried about this shit, this is why you're broke. I spent half my day thinking about how to put more money into my Chase account. And it's not because I'm trying to be ego narcissist. It's like, I have a family. I'm trying to raise them. I'm not trying to let them fucking, I want them to, we actually grew up in Stockton, but it wasn't like we were fucking like poor or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, we weren't balling. We certainly had friends that had more money and we're doing better than we were, but we weren't fucking broke or living on the real wrong side of Stockton. Okay. And obviously when you have a family and you start a family, you want it to be better because you have a standard that was set for you. So that's all I'm trying to do. I live in a very modest house in a very nice neighborhood. I have very few expenses other than $1,000 a month to play golf. And, I think we went to Vegas. My wife may have spent $7,000 or $8,000 at the Louis store. We may have been at AP and they offered us a $40,000 watch that I may or may not have bought. Yeah, that was amazing. That's another point, Ryan. I put this up on Instagram or whatever, and I was like, "Why this hobby has gotten to the point where they're charging big? It's not 50-cent packs anymore, right? Why do I have to go to the National and rub elbows against all these fucking sweaty army men? Here's the concept I would open, Ryan. If I was opening up a card shop, it would be exactly the Automata PA store where there's almost never anybody in there. And then you come in, it's appointment only. I had to set up an appointment to go to Automata PA has a store, but you really don't go in there unless you have an appointment. So you go in, they took us in the back. They give us chocolates. It was like handmade chocolates. There was they brought us water, Ryan, but it wasn't like regular water. It was like in this glass bottle and had this ribbon on it. Like it was like, and then for some people watching this is not their thing. They want to dig through the nickel box, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with this. But I'm telling you that there's an aspect of this hobby that is trending towards the people like me that want to like when we walked into Louis Vuitton, you get a salesperson. They walk you over here. They take you over here. In Vegas, they had like a little room where you could go in, and my wife's not at these guys at the card show, Ryan. You like, oh, let me take a look at the Pete Rose. You don't do that at Louis Vuitton. You go in the back and they just bring shit to you. That's what I want to do if I'm going to buy cards. I want to go in. Like there's these watch lounges too, Ryan, where they have the liquor. There's a little liquor cabinet. It's an office. It's not a retail store. It's an office, but it's nice. It's got couches. It's like the hotel room that we're in. There's a little liquor. There might be a TV. The watch, you go, you smoke a cigar. And what happens? The watch dude goes in the back, goes to the safe, pulls out the watches, and then you start trying them on and you talk about watches. This is the problem I have with these card shows, and this is the problem I've always had with these card shows. You go, and it's like a fucking flea market. Why am I spending thousands of dollars, and it's like a flea market environment? You think I would go to the Automata PA store and spend $50,000, $100,000 on a watch if it was like a flea market environment? Why would I do that? Just click a button online and buy this shit. That's why I think the arena slabs and fucking slab pack, Derek Jeter slab packs or whatever they're called, That's going to blow up because at least I can be sitting in my cigar environment, watching the bitches out at Hermosa Beach, and I get the same thing. Why am I slumming it with the 99%? This is why when we go to baseball games, Ryan, and basketball games, we're not sitting in the bleachers. This is why when you go to games, and I understand, like most people, they go to a game, they want to sit in the bleacher and this, that, and the other. When we go to games, Ryan, we sit in the front row or in the Lexus Club or the suite or whatever. And it's not me trying to be snobby or whatever. It's just a fact. When I go to the Laker game, I don't want to park in the parking lot and walk 90 miles. And the reason why I don't want to do that, Ryan, is because time is way more valuable to me at this stage of my life than money. Clearly. My beater Rolex is like a grail for most people. Like I wear that out here to Los Angeles just in case I get mugged.
Just for the Chiefs tickets, you could buy another Rolex. So let's be real.
Yeah. It's like I just want to spend money to park closer to the stadium, to get in the event, not have to wait in line. I want to be able to not have to stand in line for food. And I just want the game to be presented for me. And then after the game, I want to be able to get in my car and leave and be in a VIP environment. And if I need to take a pee, I'm not standing in line. It's a nice bathroom. And the same thing with cards. I don't want to go to a card shop and have to talk to somebody and this and the other. No. Why isn't like Mojo autograph guy, whatever, open a VIP fucking cigar lounge? I mean, cigars and cards probably don't. It's a tough mix, but open a VIP. Open like the Patek Philippe boutique. This is what Topps. This is what will get Topps' attention, Ryan. Is open up a boutique. And I said this on Instagram, and people are like, "Oh, you're so snobby. You're so this, that, and the other." It's like, guys, this is what I'm used to. This is what I'm used. I mean, I have luggage sitting around here. I probably have $10,000 in Louis luggage. And this is just like my kid is like next year, my kid's going to use this at school and I'm going to buy a new one. Like my kids, like, can I say this, Ryan? You know, they have Louis, you know, they have backpacks. They're like nice.
Wait, your kids have Louis backpacks? How old are your kids again?
I mean, they're in elementary school.
They're hella young.
They're in elementary school.
And they rolling in with a Louis?
Guys, everybody has Louis. It's not even like an ultimate luxury. Like if I had Hermes and shit, I mean, now you're like, damn, motherfucker's balling. But it's like, this is where you got to get to. And this is where the hobby needs to get to like really attract me and get me excited. Fuck this flea market environment. Have this like VIP roped off experience. Now you're getting. They have
a little bit of that at Fanatics Fest with like the 40/40 club. You got to pay like hell, like 16 racks, and then you can get in there and like that stuff.
He knows. This is where, and people are like, oh, the 40/40 club, whatever. This is where the hobby's going. In 4 or 5 years, everybody will be like, oh yeah, that was obvious. I'm saying it now, and like 25 people will be like, no, that's stupid. That won't work. Nope. Trust me. In 5 years. Every show that's worth something will have a separate area, air conditioned, keep the fucking, yokels out, there's a liquor cabinet if that's legal in the venue or whatever. That's what you want. And then this is the card shop format that is going to be, it's not going to be everywhere, but in major cities, this is what's going to open up. There's going to be almost nothing on display. It's going to be sofas. There might be like a PSA 10 Jordan out, like very much like you walk into these Audemars Piguet watch boutiques. That's what it's going to look like. Right now, they look more like a Rolex boutique is nice. They've got all the watches out. It's a little more approachable. It's a little more over-the-counter relationship. Or if you go into Richard Mille, or you go into Patek Philippe, or you go into certainly you go into like Audemars Piguet, it's a come to the back and let's talk about watches. And it's actually a longer process. You're not in there. It's not actually a transactional process right away. In fact, you walk into Audemars Piguet or most of these places, and it's really, you start a relationship. You start talking about the watches, you talk about the history, you talk about which watches might fit your lifestyle and those types of things. Same thing with the cards. Somebody like Mojo's got all the vision on the cards. He should be getting these guys to come in with the big money, and he should be like, guys, I know I was all on D Cousins, but now this guy, everybody's gonna be collecting this shit next year. Or here's the trend I'm seeing. Maybe it's low end modern base is gonna take off, or maybe it's, hey, we should only be buying PSA 10 LeBron's first year Laker cards. Those are gonna explode. Or hey, Topps Chrome's coming out this year. It's gonna be fully licensed. We're gonna go all in on that. This is what he should be doing, catering to the person that wants the knowledge and then has the money to follow through. He's slumming it up basically at a glorified flea market, which, like, oh my God, he's a flea market dealer. That's how I look at Jeff Wilson. Wow, he deals at a flea market and he has a shop. Wow, what a success. Oh my God. Instead, fucking open Cards HQ. Fuck, that sounds like a nightmare, Ryan. Why isn't it like literally like 300 square feet? And I go in there and I start getting massage. There's like an Asian lady giving me a massage. Fucking, they bring me a cigar. There's a liquor. Yeah. Guy there in a suit. Right. Guy there in a suit talking to me about sports. Maybe they got the game on. Brings me the cards out. He's like, oh, I know you're a Ohtani guy. Let me just bring all the Ohtani out. It's fucking amazing.
Yeah, I don't think the shop has resonated quite like people thought. I think it's just an oversized shop, and maybe he's having some success arbitraging some cards. But I think there's a reason why he hasn't opened a second, a third, a fourth location like Tom Brady has, because the money just isn't there. The money just doesn't fund a second location, a third location. It's a grind. And I mean, we knew that from the rip. And this it's a grind. And literally we're talking about the biggest boom and probably the best time sports cards have ever been in our fucking lives. And we're old as fuck. Sports cards have never been in a better spot in the last 40 years. Period. Ever. Maybe ever. This is the best time ever for sports cards, is this moment right here, right now. These guys should be making a shit ton of. Could you imagine if this was the best time ever for football tickets in America? We would, we should be making a shit ton of money.
Probably is. I mean, every year it gets.
I'd argue ever since the Kaepernick kneeling, it's been down, but that's my opinion. I think people rather watch it on TV. But specifically with cards, we're talking about a booming fucking market. These shelves should be empty every day, and you should be able to reload them, and you should be able to keep open. If these stores are quote unquote profitable, why aren't these things popping up left and right day after day after day? And I think more or less these are just a passion project. Or it should be a loss leader for you. It should be a loss leader for you because you make so much money on your content or the side deals on Discord that the shop is just a deal flow location for you. It's a loss leader. It's a vanity thing. It's an ego thing. I don't understand why these guys aren't making a shit ton more money. I mean, why does a guy on Twitter, he brags about making 10 racks. He spends $90,000 and he makes 10 racks and he's bragging about it. All these guys should be making money hands over fists right now. Because guys, if you have any type of slowdown, holy shit, you want to see boring content or dead content, or guys leave the hobby. Holy guys, just give it 6 months or a year if things slow down.
Or if it all goes just digital. Like I said, the way these repacks are going to work is, first of all, the one of these at scale is just circulating all the same cards. They don't need new cards. They're just circulating the same ones. Or it's, hey, we'll send you a FedEx label. We'll give you a quote of what you have, and boom, and then once you become, it's like StockX. Like once you sell a lot on StockX, they actually pay you out. Like once you ship, they pay you out. Like normally it's like you ship to them, it clears, and then you get your paycheck. But if you're a big seller on there, they literally will you'll sell the Nike and you'll ship it to them. And as long as it starts tracking, they trust you enough that you're sending the shit and they pay you out. That's how these repack products are going to work. It's literally going to be like, oh, you have Ohtani's? Cool. Tell us what you have and we'll send you a check right now. I mean, in some sense, this is already happening, but there's enough of the like kind of the middleman and the dude in the middle. But the dude in the middle is going to get squeezed out because it's easy enough to squeeze him out. You just need to get to scale first. This is why they're going to Jeff and they're going to Mojo, because they know like, hey, we can go to these guys and boom, we can build it up. No, we're not on Arena Club. I'm just telling, like, I analyze Netflix and I don't watch it. Like, I've correctly predicted the price action of Netflix. I'm not on Netflix.
Well, these guys aren't used to us being able to freely talk about businesses. That's what's your name? Texas Rangers PC. You're not used to people just being able to freely talk about business without a sponsorship deal or some kind of angle.
Yeah.
No, we just like the business model of slab packs, of Upper Deck E-Pack, of Courtyard AO. We just like this model of business, brother. It's not about fucking we're on it or this or that.
We were on E-Pack before you were probably born. But you're probably still sucking on your mommy's titty, but it would have been both. Now you're just on one. Like, we were on E-Pack and E-Tops and all these things when they launched.
Yeah, yes, Texas Ranger PC. We like this business model. Actually, you could search our YouTube channel. I have video of me opening Upper Deck products from probably 10 years ago.
Yeah,
because I love this model. I've spent hours trading cards with people, hockey cards, and I don't even know who these motherfuckers are because it's fun, bro. Yes, we are on this model of business because if you, Texas Ranger PC, you probably goes around and talks about how you want the hobby to grow and you want people good for the hobby. This is the way it's going to grow, guys. It's not going to be the 1980s putting cards in binders and building sets, guys.
Nope.
It's going to be the straight gamble. Okay, buddy? Mr. Texas Rangers PC, say what's up to our boy Bruce Bochy. We love him. But come on, get it together, bro. We can talk about businesses without having some kind of fucking angle to shoot you. Okay?
Happy birthday, Dave Snyder. How much do we charge for an appearance? Ryan, I mean, well, it's split adjusted now. Now it's like 200 some odd a share. Yeah, I remember we used to do shares of Amazon. I think split adjusted, it's probably like 120. So yeah. I remember we would say it was shares of Amazon. I don't know. The hotel we're staying in was actually cheap and it was $2,000. You know, for me, again, it's not about how much people pay for the appearance. It's the time. Ryan lives in Arizona, so we don't get as much time to hang out. So that, you know, this is more or less why I'm here. Tim's here. Like I said, I think this is the first time all three of us have recorded a show in the same room. Maybe I could be wrong about that on a live. All three of us. Oh, okay, that's right. So yeah, the West Coast is just bringing us together. So we come down here. Yeah, the hotel we're at, the Sea Sprite over on Hermosa Beach, is just a beautiful place. We stayed here at the Super Bowl. We stayed here. I was down here for business, stayed here for business. We were here last year and we stayed here. This is just like the third or fourth. I just like this hotel. I like where it's at. You can park and never have to get in your car. Oh, and it's just insane. It's insane. You got to keep your sunglasses on when you go outside, not just for the sun, but for the honeys that are walking around. You know what I mean? So it's just a beautiful place. For me, it's not about the money. I'm doing really, really well. Ryan and I shut down the live streams, not because we weren't having fun, not because we didn't think we were succeeding in at least a small way of what we were doing. It was, he wanted to shut it down to sell football tickets. And guys, I'm the accountant, I think you could say, of the business. I handle the kind of the cash flow of the business to a certain degree. And the cash flow is enormous. So it's very, yeah. And I started a business and, you know, we set a goal for the full year and we hit it in 4 months. So needless to say, the checks have been good. So we don't need the money. Stock tips. Go to myequityempire.com. It's $9.97 for a full year. If $9.97 for a full year sounds like expensive stock for stock picks, you're not the guy I want. If you think $9.97 for a full year of stock picks, which can easily make you money in just a single one, even if you're only putting $1,000, $2,000 into each pick, we have clients that are putting $15,000, $20,000 into dollar stock picks. In fact, I played golf with one a few weeks ago, and he was like, "Colin, I'm going to Cuba. I was going to have a great time." And then the stock that that you guys recommended was called Applied Optoelectronics, ticker symbol AOI, and it doubled. So he was going to Cuba, and instead of having a $15,000 budget, he's got a $30,000 budget. So myequityempire.com, $9.97 for a full year. Some of you guys are paying that for in packs, and you get nothing. Here you get a year's worth of stock picks, small caps, large caps. I have a performance page where I literally show you the performance of the picks inside of the thing. Our top picks more recently, as you can imagine, have done well. But I didn't just start doing this. I've been doing this for about a decade in one form or another. So people that say, "Oh, Colin, you just got hot because you started recommending stocks in April." No. This is the culmination of years and years and years of work. Okay. I have 20 million views of stock market content. You guys think I would have gotten 20 million views and not know what I'm talking about? Okay. Sports Card Radio is like, I don't even think about Sports Card Radio. I think about the stock market every single day. It's what I do every single. Yeah, the website is, we had it, we could have a podcast on the website and the business. We should have been filming the start of the business. That could have been, let's just say that could have been a Netflix show. Oh, trust me, you don't even know the drama. The drama that happened with Equity Empire is epic.
That's all learning experience.
Yeah.
That, like,
Yeah. And it ended up being like a learning experience, but it ended up working out even better than it could have. So
the next one is let's buy some arena packs right now, which I would sponsor.
I don't even.
I would just pay for it just to see.
I mean, like I said, Courtyard IO got me because I think it was the deal was spend 50, get 50. So it was a free roll.
Yeah, but we can expose the scam.
Just because I think it's a good business model doesn't mean I want to buy it. Is how I would say.
Oh, these are a fucking ripoff.
Or not?
No, like let
we can see what it.
I don't think it's a scam. I definitely don't think this is a scam.
But we could show this is not paid at all. So
I mean,
we could just show the
just because I think it's cool doesn't mean I want to do it. You know what I mean? It's just like I see these kids doing crazy shit out here on the water. I ain't gonna go out there. You know what I mean? Like I'm a father.
Look, you got this Pop Mart shit that's blowing up with the Labubu shit. Motherfuckers are paying $50 for a glorified keychain or a glorified beanie baby.
Yeah, this shit's cool.
So if Arena Packs wants to sponsor us, you can reach out.
No. They have, and no. We're not looking for sponsors. No, we're not looking for sponsors. We can freely talk about that's what it rubs people the wrong way. They're like, "Oh, you're pushing Arena Club." No, guys. We can freely talk about business. We can freely talk about business models. We can freely talk about how this hobby is going to continue to level up. It's not going to be putting cards in binder pages and you guys talking about the old days in the 80s. It's not even going to be that. It's not even going to be the card show. You've got to be able to sit here
don't put cards
online and buy shit and be able to make $10,000 profit sitting here, flipping cards, trading marketplace to marketplace, probably using multiple marketplaces. A lot of you guys struggle in this hobby because you're afraid to sell stuff. You're afraid to sell things. You're afraid to use multiple marketplaces. You've been turned off by eBay fees or check out my cards fees.
Yeah.
Or Ken Golden. You have something against Ken Golden. Professor Sports Cards, I see you leaving comments. You made a video about us, bro, that said that we got paid off by Ken and we left YouTube. Why the fuck? I think you said you had a master's in journalism. Why didn't you reach out to either me or my brother or Ken Golden to ask us that question, bro?
Boo.
Like real talk, dude. Real talk. You made a video where I think you got a comment or some bullshit about those guys left YouTube not to sell sports tickets, not because Colin made 100 racks this week on his stock picks. Literally made 100 racks this week selling stock picks, let alone the Kansas City Chiefs game. You got a comment by one of these idiots, one of these fucking idiots, bro, and then you ran with it. But you didn't why didn't you fucking contact? If I got a question about you that said Professor Sports Cards did X, Y, and Z and and I just made a video about it and I didn't contact you, but hey, bro, this guy said this. He said, maybe you can.
Boo.
So think about that. A lot of guys have been responding to your content. And why the fuck? You say you have a master's in journalism and you didn't fucking reach out to us? What kind of bullshit is that, bro? I just wanted to say that because I know you made a video about us a few months ago when I'm over here grinding baseball tickets. And I literally get text messages from people that I know that said, hey, did Ken Golden pay you off? I'm like, the fuck, I wish he did. Come on, bro. You got to do better. You can't just read comments and that becomes your content. I wish I could have done that when I was making videos. I wish I could have fucking done that. If you get a comment about us, at least reach out to us and say they didn't respond. Ken Golden didn't respond. Ryan from Sports Card Radio told me to go fuck myself. That would actually
That would have been good. That would have been good.
That would be a better video.
That would have been a better tease. It'd be like, Colin and Ryan got paid off by Ken Golden and they respond. That would have been a banger video. Bang. See, this is what I'm saying, Ryan. These guys want to make 99% content. They don't want to do that extra effort to make the actual banger. Because for them, it's like, okay, cool, 4,000 views, 5,000, 7,000 views, whatever it is. Oh, that's good. That's good because they don't have the plaque. They don't have the millions of views. And so they don't have a standard. It's just whatever they can spew out of their mouth. And maybe it was like, look, Ryan, maybe it was one of these things where it was more of like a pod. It wasn't like a targeted video. It was like he was, because like you could go, we've been on for 2 hours or whatever. We said all kinds of shit. And I bet you can go back through all the lives.
Fair enough.
All kinds of shit.
Fair enough.
So like he might have just been like, well, I think like maybe somebody asked him a question. He was like, I'm not getting paid to defend him. I don't give a fuck about the guy. I didn't like that the guy tries to tell us what to do. We don't, Professor Sports Cards, we don't walk in. If I walk into your classroom, let's say, I think the guy's a teacher, right? So I wouldn't walk into his classroom, Ryan, and tell him how to teach. And this is the problem I have with Professor Sports Cards and other people in this hobby. They literally basically try to walk into your classroom and tell you how to teach kids, even though they might not know how to teach either, or they certainly haven't proven that they're a better teacher than you. I think it's a fact that Professor Sports Cards probably isn't as good at YouTube as we are. He doesn't have a YouTube plaque and he doesn't have tens of millions of views, two things that we have. So should he really be opening his mouth and talking to us about YouTube and what we say on YouTube? Maybe fucking achieve something before you start opening your mouth. I wouldn't walk into any teacher. And I've spent the last decade of my life volunteering teaching, but I sure as hell, Ryan, don't walk into a classroom and tell another teacher how to teach. Even though there's been times I've walked into classrooms and I've actually had more experience in a classroom with the children than that teacher, but I don't walk in there and tell them how to teach. I don't have a teaching degree, but I've spent hundreds and hundreds of hours inside of classroom teaching children.
I literally had people in my personal life who I know outside of cards who watched the video and were like, hey, did you get it paid off by Ken? And we had a good laugh about it. Like, oh man, I fucking wish, like, damn, I wish I got fucking $500,000.
He might be the one guy in the hobby that could write a check that could pay us off. Because everybody's like, oh, well, write Colin and Ryan a check. It has to be a big check. Because Gavin Newsom's going to take his half, and that's fine. Because what's the answer, Ryan? If everybody complains about California taxes, well, what's the answer to high taxes, Ryan? Make fucking more money. Just make some more. Don't be fucking lazy. Don't be a little bitch. Improve your skills. Like if you're okay at public speaking, become great at public speaking. If you're okay at selling sports tickets, become the best. If you're good at picking stocks, become great at picking stocks.
Hold on. To that end, a better video, like we said, would have been, I got this comment that Sports Card Radio got paid off by Ken Golden. I reached out to both the Sports Card Radio guys.
I investigated it.
He told me to fuck off. Ken Golden fucking ghosted me. Ken Golden laughed at me. That would have made for a better video.
Huge. Epic video. Epic video.
That's
maybe how it would have went down too.
I know the last, and I wasn't a guy who wanted to reach out to these guys and get comment, but I can't even tell you the last fucking dozen videos I made, every single fucking motherfucker that I talked about, I had to go, unless it was fucking filleted out on the blowout forums, I had to reach out to these guys. Hey, this was said about you. Do you have a comment? I think it actually makes for better
Way
content.
better video. Way better video.
That, hey, I
better video.
tried to get this guy's side of the story, which
Yep.
could be totally different, which could put everything into a totally different context. Totally different context. He could have reached out to us and we could have totally explained why we stopped making live stream videos that maybe made us $1,000 a week.
Maybe.
Guys, Colin probably made 20 grand
Just sitting here right now.
Sitting here right now. Let alone what he made selling half the fucking stadium of the fucking Kansas fucking City Chiefs.
Probably $420.
You could go look at the attendance of that fucking football game. It probably fucking 10x is what
I
the
guarantee you.
Royals have gotten.
Here's what I guarantee you. I pre-sold the most tickets to that game than anybody because I was basically pre-selling for the last 4 months to a third week preseason game. Now, I didn't tank as much as I thought. I was like, God, these tickets are going to be $5. No one's going to give a fuck about this game. Motherfuckers in Louisiana. Where is this place? Kansas City, whatever. Clearly, I don't know shit about geography, but it's like, my God, these motherfuckers don't have anything better to do but buy a third-tier parking lot spot for $50 fucking in Missouri. It's got to be fucking 125 degrees with fucking humidity there.
The Royals are 21 GA, 31 reserved. So it's like, yeah, that's and fucking, I mean, the Chiefs could charge more, in my opinion. It should be more to park there. It should be like 70.
Well, I mean, California, like, you know, like our perception of price is skewed here. What do we got?
Pay for convenience and luxury.
Yeah.
This hobby doesn't offer.
Yeah, he's right. He's right. And this is, again, the night I post something like this on Instagram and everybody's like, oh, you're so conceited. It's like, nobody says that to me. You guys all watch these fucking men play in the sports arenas, and newsflash, that's exactly what happens at the games. Is you pay for convenience and luxury at these games. Now, if you're in fucking one of these third tier stadiums, there's not many of them left. Even the old ones like the Boston and Red Sox and the Chicago Cubs, they've upgraded these things for luxury and convenience. It was back in the day. Yeah, you'd show up at the Oakland fucking. This is why Oakland has no fucking teams anymore, because their stadiums were dog shit. And they couldn't capture the luxury and convenience guy. And that's what, not all the way, but that is a version of that will happen in this hobby. That if you don't cater to the convenience and the luxury, well, yeah, the high prices will come down. And we'll go back to the days of it's basically a fucking glorified flea market. And look, at the cards are 50 cents, Ryan. I don't care if it's a flea market atmosphere. It's okay. We go to card shows where it's more of a flea market atmosphere, but it's fun. You know, it's like, there's some expensive cards, but most of the cards that are getting dealt are probably $10, $15, $20 cards or whatever. But like, these guys are going, and this is like the best of the best. It's a fucking flea market. No, I want to show up. I don't want anybody else around me. I want a big old dude be in security. I want it to be climate controlled. No, it's not VIP. And again, I understand most people value money over time, but once you get some money, you realize how unvaluable it is. Money doesn't do anything for you. Ryan, when we started our card shop, it was like 18 years ago. We didn't have any money then. And a couple of years later, when we closed it, we sure as hell didn't have any money then, but we were still having fun. We were still having a good time. But after a while, you realize, man, the money didn't buy me happiness. Now that I have a little bit more money in my bank account, and I don't worry. I think the most freedom money offers you is when you don't worry about it. Like, I don't worry about my bills getting paid. You know what I mean? Like, I don't worry about I don't worry about those things, and that's certainly not the case for some of my life, and that brought stress to me. But now that I'm at the stage of my life where it's like, oh, cool, come down to California. How much is a sea Sprite? Cool, they have a room, because now it's like, it's so popping here, it sells out. It's like they had 2 rooms left. Cool. How much is it? I don't know. $2,000. Cool. Whereas in the past, you had to budget it out and do all this shit. And this is what the hobby needs to attract, Ryan. I want to be able to come in, and I want it to be catered to me. I want him to go in the back. He already knows what I collect. When I walk into the Rolex store, Ryan, the guy already knows what watches I have, and he knows which ones I want. When you get a little bit of that at these card shops, but it's a little bit of flea markety.
I think the card shows are a good way to network, good way to just bring people together, bring the hobby together. If the card shows were like they were back when I was going to them 10 years ago, it's such a small environment. It's almost like a dealer only environment. Whereas now I could not believe the fucking lines out there in Rosemont, out there 45 minutes fucking west of Chicago. I mean, it was absolutely pure insanity.
Insane. It's awesome. I mean, I think it's great.
Well, and we went to the Anaheim or the West Coast Card Show today, and the place is slammed. The place is fucking slammed. And if you can't make $10,000-$20,000 in a fucking night, in a fucking per day there, what the fuck are you doing?
If you had a convention where I could show up with a booth and it was slammed and it was all like people that wanted stock pick advice, my God, it'd be $1 million a day. You know, like I'd fucking just get me in front and get me to start talking. I'd fucking convert. That's what I do every week on YouTube. I'll get on and talk for 20 minutes and, bring in a couple sales. I mean, it's not complicated. It's not complicated. Pokemon card deal go down in the grocery store parking lot, look like a drug deal. Yeah, I was at an LA Vaughn, like a random Vaughn's, and they had this fucking Pokemon vending machine. It was dope too. It was like new. Yeah, it wasn't like those little coin ones where you get the little thing. It was like literally buy the blaster up here, and my kids were like, obviously, like, wow, Pokemon vending machine. Never seen anything like that. I hadn't seen anything like that, and so for them, it was like, oh my God, Pokemon vending machine. So I was like, yeah, I gotta buy something. This is fucking amazing. So we bought like a $30 blaster. It was cool.
I'm surprised you had any inventory in that Pokemon.
Yeah, and I think that's what there was 2 other guys there that are clearly like older guys into Pokemon or whatever, which is not a big deal. Our boy Rattle Pokemon still crushing the Pokemon content. Is he? What's he doing? That's cool. And he kind of gets on there, and it's like, he doesn't have an editor. I don't think, but he just gets on there and he talks. He says stuff. Yeah. You learn something from him. Like when I watch him, it's like, I don't know shit about Pokemon, but I learn something from him. He also has a strong take. It's not, it's like, and your take can be strong positive. It can be strong negative, either way. It's like when you try to play the middle.
Well, one thing that he's authentic.
Yeah.
That's why we got the thing, the comment earlier. Oh, you're pumping slab packs. Guys, we're just real. We're just talking about business.
Authenticity is gold.
We can appreciate business without getting a fucking check, guys. Like unlike these other.
I've never logged in. This is the first time I've ever seen Arena Club's website, Ryan. I've never logged in.
Me too.
I've never logged in. I don't know how to log in. I don't know how much these things cost. I don't know the whole process. I've heard enough people talk about it. I'm like, yep, that's a great business model. Not for Arena Club, for Fanatics. Fanatics is going to be the one that dominates this. They're just letting these guys come in and kind of test the market, prove the model, and then somebody comes in. Maybe not, like Whatnot's also very did that as well. They tested the market and then they blew up.
Whatnot basically showed Fanatics what is capable, and Fanatics is just going to monopolize the entire market once they design their perfect model, basically.
And what almost nobody watching will realize is Whatnot there were 20 other companies, and we did podcasts about these back in the day, right? And you remember when these breakers were doing like YouNow and Blog TV, and then there was Breakers TV, and they had to stream on these platforms. They had to, like, literally to buy into a break, you had to go to like a third world breakers.tv. And these breakers were like married to these streaming sites. And then they would get shut down and they would get kicked off or whatever. Or there'd be pedos on fucking Blog Now. And so it got shut down or whatever. And these guys were like, well, these are great businesses. But what happened is Whatnot basically allowed the market to mature, got it to an area, and then somebody with some real money and some real tech skills and a more of a network effect got in there and did that. Same thing with Arena Club. They're in there, they're paying the Jeff Wilsons, they're paying whoever to cover it, but somebody will professionalize it. It will likely be the manufacturer. And there'll be other people. Arena Club might still exist, just like there's more than one grader, right? But there's one top company, and Fanatics probably has the most highest capabilities to take the repack, and they've already shown a willingness to do this. And with PSA kind of in there doing things as well, from kind of a white label perspective, they're going to be in there doing it. And this is where the hobby's going. Nobody has to write us a check for us to say that. Nobody wrote us a check really in the hobby for 20 years. We would turn down checks routinely in the hobby, Ryan. Companies that we actually liked would offer it. Like Check Out My Cards offered us multiple times. Like, and there's people sponsored by Check Out My Cards right now. But I guarantee you, we probably spent more traffic and more time customers to Check Out My Cards than all of the influencers in the hobby combined.
And I'm like the newest member to Sports Card Radio overall, like maybe 2 years now. And I'm surprised at the amount of deals that they turned down that could contribute to my 4.20% of the company's stock. Like, I routinely get angry at the opportunities that they turn down.
Well, Colin could sell half the fucking stadium of the Kansas City Chiefs. So what is the value of that? Even at $30 a ticket times 30,000, that's fucking some racks. So I mean, what are we gonna do? The Arena Club money. That's why I was like, did we get paid out by Ken? It's like, damn, at least that motherfucker might have the money.
He might have the money. We get a 0.1 acre and a check that has a couple of zeros on it. Because again, you're dividing it by 2, and then a 4.2 gets cut out of these things. And again, for some people, $1,000 check's a lot. $10,000 check's a lot. I'm telling you right now, I'm at the stage of my life where if there ain't 7 zeros on the check, I wouldn't even notice if you deposit in my bank account. And I'm blessed to say that.
I'm a scavenger for money, so I'll take any money.
Yay, and that's fine.
I'm the hustler mentality.
There ain't nothing wrong with that. And honestly, that's a great place to be. I wish I could get back to that. I wish I could actually get back to that level, because that was when I created some of the best businesses and made the most money. Now the money, it actually comes relatively easy, but it was like it took 20 years for the money to come in easy, because I tried like 50 million things that didn't work. And then you learn all this stuff about business, and then you realize, oh, I can analyze businesses because I fucked up in business so much. I can really realize when, man, you shouldn't buy Adobe. 2 years ago, I was like, man, I probably shouldn't buy Adobe. Intel. Fucking, I made a whole career talking shit on Intel.
Colin,
yeah, what's up?
Can I alert people of one of our historic achievements in the hobby?
Please do.
People don't even realize that we're responsible for probably the biggest giveaway ever in the hobby.
Yeah.
There was a 1986-87 Fleer box opened by a bunch of fucking influencers at the National. This was what, 2-3 years ago. This is fucking damn near a decade ago.
Almost to the day, probably.
It came out a little squirrely. We won't get into fucking how the packs came out, but there was some question marks about whether the box had been tampered with or not. And sure enough, and again, these boxes back in the day, they're the current bid on this is $122,000 with 21 days left. So these boxes, even a few years ago, I think were upwards of $150,000, $175,000. So the box was opened by a bunch of influencers for whatnot at the National. It came out a little questionable. Was it fucking rigged? Was it pre-packed? Was it fucking searched? We don't know. Of course, the authenticator of the box is the legendary Steve Hart of BBCE, the guy that said we all got duped in the famous Logan Paul fake Pokemon case that featured none other than our boy Shine. Shine, if you're listening. Shine, I got to go back to Phoenix in a couple days. Send the PJ over, brah. Come on. Hey, and Shine. I just want to talk to Shine right now. I just want to talk to Shine right now. Shine. And when you send the PJ over, make sure you have a couple goodies in the bag for your boy. And I ain't talking about cards. But anyways, I wanted to pat ourselves on the back. We are responsible for one of the biggest giveaways in the history of sports cards. And when you fucking dorks go on YouTube and say Sports Card Radio made their name from talking shit on Jeff Wilson, and that's the only way they got big, go fuck yourselves. Because you should mention that we are responsible for Golden giving away a $175,000 box. And if you want to use the bid on this, a $122,000 box with 21 days left. Ken Golden had to reach into his little collection or his warehouse or his vault or his 5.2 acres, 4.9 acres, 4.2 acres, whatever it is, and pull out an 86-87 Fleer box and give it away. I just want to fucking make that point to the record, since a lot of people want to talk on YouTube about how we only did this, we only did that. Get one of these motherfuckers to give away a 6-figure box and then come talk to us. But that's what we did not 2 years ago. So recognize the fucking game. Ryan, will you teach me how to flip parking passes? Sean Kemp, look, here's the deal. It's a grind. And selling baseball tickets is easy. Selling football tickets, you better be a straight gangster. Go
I'm
try-
literally quitting selling football
Yeah, yeah.
tickets.
Here's my thing. If you want to sell, if you want to become a scalper, go to Ticketmaster right now. Go to any event. Go to the cheapest event, $5 event, whatever the cheapest get in right now, and try to buy 25 tickets to that event under one account.
I
and then
quit.
get back to me.
I quit.
And then get back to me.
I made a lot of money and I'm quitting because
Yeah.
I'm just like, fuck this.
This fucker sold half the stadium to the Kansas City Chiefs.
I
Chicago
never
Bears
want to
game.
do
He's
that
quitting.
ever again. It was the most painful and hardest way to ever make money, and it was actually pretty easy. Now,
My advice:
fuck it.
sell baseball cards, because that's probably more in the skill and the lane that you guys know. That's more the speed that you guys need. You start selling sports tickets, you're gonna buy 100 tickets that you ain't gonna sell. You ain't gonna fulfill. You're gonna get locked out of your Ticketmaster account. You're gonna be fucked.
Yep.
You're gonna be fucked. Leave it to the big dogs like me who've been doing it for 10 years.
The hustle.
You guys deal with this. You guys should be making $10,000 profit, not sales, profit per week flipping sports cards. Period. End of the story. But yeah, let's turn it. Yeah, let's turn it. Center me up. Center me up. Somebody said, Sean Kemp, you also said we were losing our hair earlier. I invite you to Anaheim, California. You can inspect the hair. Brother, we ain't ever losing my hair in a day in my life, bro.
I mean, maybe my hairline's coming in on the sides a little
The
bit. but
hairline don't count, dog.
that's-
Come on.
I
Unless you
could
balding up top,
come
let's
down
go.
with it. I
Be
could
real.
come down with it. No one's ever been like, Colin, you're losing your hair. Nobody says that to me.
The barbers gush over the hair. Come on, let's be real. But you can come inspect. My opinion, don't flip sports tickets.
No, I
Flip
don't
cards.
agree with this next take. He says SCV has become unbearable. No, he says stuff. You should surround yourself with people that don't tell you what you've already heard. Sport Mike. That is how you become in the 1%. If I sat around my whole life and just listened to the same shit I already knew, I would be broke. But I started listening to shit that was like, wow, this is fresh. I haven't heard this perspective. Wow, I didn't think like that. I didn't think that way about business. I started trying to find the 1% people that had a different perspective. SCV, like, I'm not even talking about his bank account. The reason why, and Ryan recognized this first, he started seeing him on YouTube and shit, and he was like, dude, you got to check this SCV guy out. I don't know, this was a year ago, however long it was. And I instantly was like, yep, 1%. And I'm not talking about his bank account. Like, I know people with not big bank accounts that I consider 1% because I'm like, wow, this motherfucker's doing epic shit. He ain't making no money, but that's no big deal. He's doing epic shit. So if you have to unfollow a guy because he's unbearable to listen to, well, he's probably telling you some shit that you don't get to hear very often. That's a privilege.
Impactful.
That's a
You should be
privilege.
listening to
Yeah.
impactful people.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't vote for Gavin Newsom. I don't agree with him on anything. But I don't consider him unbearable to listen to. I've got him read like a book. Everybody out here in California is going to pat him on the ass. He's going to run for president, and then he's going to step foot in some of these conservative places and get chewed up and spit out. That's what's going to happen. So don't worry about Gavin Newsom. He plays in the blue states, but he got to win a couple red counties. He ain't going to do that. He ain't Trump. He ain't fucking that's fine. You know, you can still get you as long as you got your stuff. You're good out here in California. You're good. But listen to some people that have different opinions. You see, Sports Card Mike would love to listen to let's see, well, Sports Card Dad and Neo are like the same guy. They get on there and like, well, I was at a card show and there was a lot of these flippers, and I guess that's bad for the hobby. No. Get on there and have somebody give you like a real perspective. Listen to that shit. Does Grease Collector 2 make content? I have no idea. I think he's talking about Card Collector 2. Like these guys don't get
I have
fed.
no
Like,
idea.
I cannot waste my time watching mind-numbing content.
Yeah,
I'm watching content about business, about growing, like ad fund. Like I've watched like how to set up a like a landing page that leads to a lead funnel. I'm watching shit like that. Or how do you? Yeah, this is just brain dead content. Why am I going to watch this? Now, if Sarah Rips makes this, yeah, maybe I might have it on for a minute or two. You know what I mean? But why would I tune in and watch a man make average content about trading cards? Texas? I don't have a reason to go to Texas really, but if I do, it's a place I want to go, but I don't have a reason to go right now.
We wouldn't go just for the card stuff.
No way.
Like we would need a reason to.
There's like South by Southwest is there.
Yeah.
There's like some other shit going on. There's obviously a lot of business there.
That's a good card show.
But
so is the West. Yeah, I mean, so is the West Coast card.
It's great, yeah.
But like,
and Hermosa is a lot better than most of Dallas.
Exactly. So like, we would need a reason to show up to Dallas.
Yeah, it's no disrespect to Texas or Dallas or any of these states.
To go back to your time thing, it needs to be worth our while, right? So
have them write us a check.
Card show is not worth our while.
Put us up in whatever. Where's baller ass Dallas? Put us up in the skyscraper in Dallas.
Well, it's out in the suburbs of Dallas. You in Allen, Texas.
The suburb of Dallas.
That's nice.
Might look a lot like Hermosa Beach. Maybe look a little different, but you go out at the right time when they're walking their dogs out in Dallas. It's probably looking okay.
That's a great card show. It's a great it's actually one of the bigger card shows, and I think the thing with that one, it's not like kind of a one-off thing. It's every quarter. It's every few months is another Dallas card show, and so it's great. I mean, a lot of the companies are focused down there. A lot of collectors, a lot of buyers, a lot of businesses. So yeah, it's a great place for a great place.
We want callers. Dave Snyder with another $4.99 donation.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for the
donation. Thank you so much for the donations, David.
Collusion if Jeff gave PSA execs. I mean, everything that Jeff does is shady. But this is the hobby. This is the hobby.
Can I ask you something? Don't you feel like that this guy gets probably more pushback? I remember when we made videos a couple years ago, it was like he wouldn't get any pushback for anything that he said. I mean, he'd come on here and promote.
Yeah, maybe not publicly. Maybe not. Yeah, maybe in the comments or like people would recognize it, but they didn't want to say. I think we kind of normalized maybe talking some shit on him and other creators. Like nobody was talking shit on any of these guys. And we were like, what the fuck? These guys are like literally learning fucking how to suck a fucking titty for some milk in this hobby. These guys are like supposed to be big and investors and know-it-alls and shit. Like we recognized right away, these guys are fucking scrubs. And they still are. Fucking 40 something years old, balding, and you just had your first success. Fuck. And you're still learning.
Yeah, I think that's the thing.
You're supposed to revolute. Why aren't we buying in the aisles at Cards HQ? Why the fuck we buying in the aisle, Ryan, with the big light? Didn't he have these little carts that were going to go around? They were going to sell right there. Like,
if there's anything about Jeff, he's ambitious about his business. He talks it up, and
I mean, more often than not, that he's wrong. And if you would think things through, he would have been Slab Arena 3 years ago. Like, what if he did Slab Arena instead of this Cards HQ? Cards HQ would be filled with cards, and they'd be coming in and out, and he wouldn't have to be doing shit.
Yeah, I'm not sure he's selling cards fast enough. And when he's talking about having to go to the national and come up with cash and go to banks and get loans from people, it doesn't sound like he's all that prepared. Like you should have had that at the ready. It's like, hey, the NFL season is coming, and oh fuck, I ran out of cash to buy tickets. It's like that doesn't make any fucking sense to me.
I can't remember what video he said that on or what, but I remember catching that. Whereas he got caught off guard with how much he was going to spend at the National. It's like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? Like, everybody knew that there was going to be lines around that. You could probably scalp tickets to the National, let alone fucking parking to the fucking National, and you didn't bring enough cash, or you didn't have enough cash, or you had to reload on Saturday. It just sounds like a guy who, again, he's learning along the way, and he's been able to garner some attention, have some success, but maybe a little bit too much is put on his plate from an expectation point of this hobby, thinking that he's some world-renowned business leader, when clearly that he's not.
Clearly. But he has some elite cards every once in a while, right? That's what somebody said. Oh, wow.
Guess what?
He has some elite pictures of men on display every once in a while, Ryan. Wow.
I mean, I don't even know. I don't even, I guess if that's, again, I think these guys are emotionally attached and enamored with these brands, with these cards. So they see a guy flexing some 10,000, 100,000, what, I don't care how much it's quote unquote worth. And they get enamored with that.
Shit was trimmed. Shit was fake. Autographs fake. It was trimmed. It was fucking whatever. Resubmitted 5 times after it was pressed.
Oh, if I got a $2 million PPP loan, bro, I'd
probably have some nice cars too, right? And your wife, Ryan, if you married a wife that got 20 mil and then you also got 2 million from the government, you think you'd flex some nice cards every once in a while?
Bro, my picture of men collection would be fucking elite
strong, huh?
Elite, bro.
Yeah, it'd probably be top shelf shit.
Who left that comment? My should be elite, dog. My show.
These guys are fucking just. I mean, God,
bunch of idiots. A bunch of idiots.
Bunch of fucking little clowns.
Colin, remember when I bought Rob from Burbank Sports Cards on, and they cooked me, and I got cooked for that.
Killed you.
I got cooked for bringing Rob from Burbank Sports Cards on. That's how dumb the fucking audience is. Like, real talk, guys. Like, that's how.
It was funny. It was funny. It was funny. I think it was kind of like they were cooking you, but it was like. It got like snowballed. The cooking snowballed into where it was like it became funny, and so that's why it kept going, I think.
Yeah, well, yeah.
But then it legitimately people were like, that
I was supposed to grill a Rob from Burbank Sports Cards about something.
Right.
Apparently. Fucking idiots.
If Jeff Wilson paid him for like a 2-hour conference call, Cards HQ would be fucking on its 8th location. Tim, what's your favorite card from your PC collection?
I already answered him in chat, but I said my Flesh and Blood Cold Foil Mask of Momentum. So it's a TCG card. Like, Flesh and Blood is a TCG game, but it's basically the chess of TCG. So,
wow. Hotter girls in Tempe, Phoenix, or Scottsdale, Ryan?
I mean, obviously Tempe. If you like your Jeffrey Epstein, like I'm a little young, then yeah, you got ASU right there. Then once you graduate, you might get up into Scottsdale. What was the other one? Phoenix. Phoenix.
Working class girl.
I'm gonna go my age. First of all, I'm in my 40s. I'm going Scottsdale for sure. Then I would have to go maybe the MILFs of Tempe, and then you can dip over there into Phoenix if you have to. Don't discount Chandler and Gilbert though. Like, recognize those locales too.
How about Scottsdale? Is it PSA 10 ladies?
I mean, come on. There's a reason why I'm there, guys. Come on, let's be real.
Okay. Do you think card shop 20 years ago, big difference from now? Larger profits? I don't think it's changed that much. I think it's harder to get the unopened product, but there's way, like, you could get the product back in the day when we opened our card shop. People weren't buying it. It was going out the door 1 pack at a time. You didn't have there just wasn't the massive amount of buyers, and there wasn't the insatiable appetite to open up a ton of it. In relative sense, you got the same value when you opened a $50 box. Oftentimes you're getting $5 in cards, very similar to opening a $5,000 box these days and getting, $500 in cards. It's still a massive disappointment. I don't think it's a lot different if you're good at talking to people, if you have the right location, if you build up a community inside of your geographical area. You absolutely could have a successful retail store. And in some ways, you have a unique retail store. So there's obviously every town has restaurants, every town has clothing shops, every town has different types of things. I think you do have to find some things in the store that sell for a high margin. You do need like those big, like large, because your volume, depending, I mean, like Burbank Cards is an anomaly. He's in like a really well populated area, and he's basically an overnight success after 25 years or 30 years in business. So you can't really look at him and say, oh, I'm going to open up Burbank Card Shop in Dallas, Texas, or wherever. You can't do that. This guy spent this is an overnight success over 30 years, 40 years, however long it's been. You don't get to see, the problem is Jeff saw something like this and he was like, oh, I could do that. It's like, no, this takes a long time to develop and get the knowledge and eventually kind of level into this. Not that everybody has to start at the little, 1,000 square foot card shop or whatever, but you have to kind of build up to this level, and it is only going to work in certain geographical regions. Tom Brady and stuff, he can open up his card shops and do whatever he wants with them. Tom Brady has, he wears a watch that is worth more than, what most of you guys make in salary combined. So, and that's just like a beater watch, that's just, that's just what he wears because, whatever. So he can do whatever with his money at this stage in his life. And who knows the relationship he has with Fanatics, who knows his tax situation and all this types of stuff. And, the other motives, and I'm not talking about negative motives, but just from a business perspective, he might have a lot of different motives for getting into the card industry and growing it out. He might have sat down with Michael Rubin, and Michael Rubin's like, man, all these fucking idiots that run these card shops are stupid as fuck. Why don't you open up a couple of them? I'll funnel you product and you can take over. I want these guys to be boutique, and they're opening up these fucking warehouses. You know what I mean? Like, he wants Autumn RPA, and these guys are opening up fucking Costco. I mean, that's what's CardJate's kitten. There's no disrespect to Jeff Wilson or Burbank Cards, especially, but you guys are opening up the Costco when they probably want because so the thing I hear about Tom Brady's shop, Ryan, I've never really seen it, but I've heard people talk about it and they're like, oh, it's a little bougie, I guess is the way I would say it. That's exactly what they want, guys. That's exactly what they want. They don't want Costco. They don't want the fucking high ceilings and fucking industrial lighting. They want fucking boutique. That's what they want. And nobody's delivering it. So Tom Brady was like, oh, cool, I could do that. Sounds like a good business model. And a hell of a tax write-off probably. Because there's all this depreciation on a bunch of the shit. But no, I don't think there's a big difference between running a shop and now. You just need to figure out a way to differentiate yourself. If you want to open the Costco of cards, by all means, go ahead and do that. But just understand that you're not going to open that up overnight. The Burbank one, I know he has a new location, but this motherfucker bounced around, I think, 5 different locations before he landed on that one. It takes a while to scale up to Costco, and you have to do it in fucking Los Angeles, basically the suburbs of Los Angeles, where everybody lives. Nobody lives in fucking Hermosa Beach unless you're fucking, crazy. Crazy in a good way. Yeah. I mean, yeah, young. I mean, there's nobody living in Hermosa Beach raising their kids. You know what I mean? And by nobody, there's a small amount.
Unless they are already uber rich.
Yeah, mega homeschool, fly the tutor in kind of rich. But we're talking, yeah, it's a whole different level. Yeah, it's a different level of living. A whole different lifestyle. You put the kid on the private jet to the best math tutor ever. GameStop doing the same thing. I mean, GameStop's, their core business is deteriorating. All the games are going digital. So they have all these retail outlets. They have to do something. They bought a company a while back. I can't remember what it was called. Geek Squad, or not Geek Squad. It was like some geek. It was a public company. They sold like, comic books and fucking all the just little knickknacks and trinkets from fucking comics. They bought that, integrated it into GameStop. So they've been going in this direction for a while, and they've just looked at it. They survey their consumer, and they see that their consumer buys this shit, whether it's Pokemon or football cards, and this is what they pivot into. They also look around the room, guys, and they're like, wow, look at these fucking idiots. Oh my God, Jeff Wilson.
Easy money on the sheeple.
Jeff Wilson, guys, opened one card shop and he's revolutionizing retail. Wow. The GameStop executive looks back and be like, we open one shop every week, and that's small. Like, go look at like Dutch Brothers or like when Starbucks was scaling, it was like 40 shops a week and shit. You know what I mean? Chipotle opening up fucking two Chipotles a week and shit. People, oh my God. Jeff Wilson opened one card shop in Atlanta, which wouldn't even exist if Delta didn't make it its hub or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, fucking A. Fucking garbage. It's a third world. Like, nobody, like, name 10 great cities in the United States. Atlanta, Georgia ain't one of them, guys. He's a nobody. He's a fucking nobody. We try to appreciate, or we try to convey some knowledge in an entertaining way. You guys think that's what's so funny, Ryan? We meet these people at these card shows and they're like, wow, you guys are nice. It's like, yeah, of course we are. When we're on YouTube, we're trying to entertain you. When I'm having a conversation about your business, I don't need to chew your fucking head off. Now, if you want me to, I can. You want me to be this like persona or whatever? I certainly can. I can be whatever persona you want. Okay. And it's because I've spent 10 years working on public speaking in person, putting myself in all these environments where I'm in front of a huge audience and have to deliver in front of one-on-one, where it's a kid that doesn't want to pay attention to what I'm saying. I got to motivate this kid. How do I do it? Roblox. Okay.
Free schlep.
Hobbies booming. Stocks are still a better investment, given all the fees. Yeah, it's basically free to trade all stocks at this point, particularly if you're in the United States. Yeah, the fact that it cost, north of 10% to sell a card. I was listening to this podcast, Ryan. They're like, man, even these cards are up 17% over the last year. It's like, oh yeah, so sell the card, pay 10% to eBay or whatever. Oh, so cool. You made 7% in a year. Oh, let's minus out inflation, Ryan. Still running 3 or 4%, depending on where you live. Oh, now you made 3% in a year. Oh, wow. Cool. Awesome. Wow. Great. Made 3% on your money. Fucking genius. Could have done this last week. Fucking buy an Oracle. Do you want to trade? Sounds like he wants to make a deal.
Well, I'm not going to Dallas or any card show. I guess if you go to the West Coast card show tomorrow, I might end up showing up there, but yeah, that's I don't have any sort of desire in sports cards overall, but I'm definitely in like stocks, equities, ETFs, cryptocurrency, like video game, just general investing. That's my current portfolio, like my net worth of portfolio.
I love it.
Do you want to address that? Hobby retardedity? What does it say? Hobby retardedity.
I mean, Sean Kemp should call in and show his living situation, show his face, should show his way.
Show us a nice watch.
No, yeah, no, but I'm
Show us
saying
a bank account screenshot.
I think he's coming from that point of view as the industry, the people who invest in sports cards are wasting their money.
The shops at the Aria, very nice. May or may not have been there a few weeks ago. The Louis store was getting renovated, which was a little bit of a disappointment. But obviously they had a an alternative location. And I may have dusted off a little bit there. And may or may not have downstairs. You got Audemars PA. May have dusted off a little coin there too. But you don't see me wearing an AP. But I don't see Jeff's wife wearing a lot of nice stuff. And that's his bad. These guys are all frauds, like the chick who has her profile from 10 years ago. Behind the scenes train wreck with no cash. I mean, I don't know. That's why, like, when we talking about views, I'm like, let's just get real. Let's just go right to the heart of the matter. Let's talk about their bank account. Because it doesn't look like these guys are doing that great. So it's like, cool, you got 10,000 views, 400,000 subs, but you don't have any of their emails and you ain't making money off of any of them. And if you are, you're like Jeff, who's like, oh, way overscaled everything that he does. He way overscales it because he can, because the government will pay his bills and his wife will pay his bills. I mean, if you guys don't look at that and it's like, wow, as a man, like that's like he's a little bitch. Like he's a little bitch.
Pathetic cuck.
Like it's cool for your wife to work and achieve shit. But if she needs to take a couple months off or she wants to take a year off or 2 years, she should be able to do that. And if as a man, if you're basically not providing that, you're a little bitch. I ain't buying shit. I ain't buying shit right now. I'm selling. Now
I'm buying. I'm buying. If you guys want to sell to me, SPTK, super producer Tim Kim.
Sell.
Now,
I'm buying Pokemon PSA slabs for $1 per PSA slab. I will buy that.
Time to buy was April when the tariffs hit and everybody was panicking.
PSA slabs from any Pokemon card that you got.
There are women in the hobby. Not many women. Hey, why aren't there a ton of men at fucking... Why are there a bunch of straight men at the Louis Vuitton fashion shows? I mean, come on. You know what I mean? Like, there's just hobbies that attract certain things. And again, this hobby doesn't cater to the women. It caters to the flea market guy that wants to show up at these things, be elbow to elbow with a bunch of other men. Like, well, no sensible woman wants to be around anything like that. So if you start if the environment caters to women, and I'm not talking about like flowers and shit like that, but man, a concept that could work fucking great is how do I cater to women? I have a boutique in the side. I've got a masseuse or one of them nail techs or whatever you call them. So the guy can come in with his wife and his wife is going to encourage him to come in because she's going to sit over here and get her nails done and get a massage, and he gets to sit over here, smoke cigars, smoke a doob, get a shot of Jack, and he gets to look at Otani cards. That's how you get the women in the hobby, guys. Actually fucking start catering to their needs, and then it gets them in the door. But is she going to walk in the door when it's some fucking, a Jeff Wilson shop? It's some fucking little teenager from Atlanta, Georgia back there that doesn't really know shit about cards, and there's just all this shit all over the place. And unless her kid drags her in there to buy a Pokemon pack or something, she's gonna have no interest in that place. Motherfucker put a poker table over here. He's got breaker cabanas. He should have had one area where it was like the mom can sit down, get her feet fucking rubbed, get her nails done, get her scalp fucking massaged, and then she'll come in there every fucking day and let the kid spend $25. It'd be a great deal. Instead, Jeff was talking about buying in the aisles and doing all this shit when nobody was going to do that.
Revolutionize retail.
Bougie, baby.
I'm not going to Dallas anytime soon unless you give me a very big incentive to Dallas, and I don't emphasize the big part. So
okay, maybe he'll come through. Don't worry. What I always say, people say, "Hey, what about California taxes? What about California this and that?" I say,
Make it worth
make
my
more money.
while from
Make more money.
California. I'm in South Bay with like Colin and Ryan both saw the girls, and they met the girls that I talked to. So
make more money.
You have to make it worth my while to show up.
Make more money. That's the answer to everything out here. Advisory LLC. That's right. I just set up an LLC here in California. I just did. I mean, I've started three businesses in the last 6 months. So it's like, that's like, I do it all the time. Okay, guys. 3 hours. I think that's our mark. They start to, when we start talking about women, Ryan, the complaint I hear all the time, Ryan, is, oh, they start talking about women. It's like, when you're hanging out with your boys, what do you talk about?
86 Fleer, man. Hey, remember them card backs on 87 Fleer?
Oh man, what a shucks. Oh shucks.
Remember when Don Mattingly had that big hit in the fucking
Hey, no, forget that. Remember when Jeff Wilson posted that video a couple years ago where he was talking about this quarterback Will Grier? Whatever happened to him? Wasn't he supposed to be 4 times better than Kyler Murray? Should we be talking about that, or should we be talking about the girl down here that looks really cute?
Hey, if you a straight man and you walk down Hermosa Beach and you don't at least kind of check out, maybe ooh, okay.
Hey,
then what? Do you have a pulse?
Hey, here's the deal, Ryan. There's not many women, quote, women in the hobby. That was. I'm not saying that, but somebody said that in our comments, right? And I'm not necessarily disagreeing with them. But here's the deal, Ryan. Out of all the women, notable women in the hobby, how many of them reach out to Sports Card Radio unsolicited? Okay. I don't want to say the percentage. I don't want to say. But I'm just saying, if you could think of a percentage, okay, I'll just let people think. And why is that? Because we talk about them. We recognize them. We flatter them. We tell the truth about a lot of them. Because if you look at them, you're like, damn, that girl's pretty darn good looking, and she's opening up some cards. That's it's like a solar eclipse. You don't see it very often, but damn, it's spectacular when you do.
That's what age gives you. It gives you perspective. That when you were at the 2013 National, and God knows where the fuck that was, you could run around the whole building and not see a female whole motherfucker.
Not see nothing. Now it's great. No, the answer to make more money, the answer to taxes is to make more money. If you're trying to figure out how I can dodge the tax and live in the best tax situation, you could have just made another $1 million. It's all about mindset.
Consult CPA.
Just make money. Just make money. Focus on that. Just focus on making money and driving value. And the more value you drive, the more money you can make.
We literally live in the highest tax state in the United States of America.
It's brutal when you have a job too. Because I had a job for a year and I saw how much money came out of my check, and I was like, God damn, I need to quit this job real fast because I'm making less money now.
Especially when you're in the highest tax bracket. It doesn't make sense overall to live in California, but California is just so... Well, you saw at the beginning of the stream, why California.
Well, it's that, and you don't miss any days here. You know what I mean? Like if the power doesn't really go out, the hurricanes don't hit, and I got to leave. Like, what does all that cost you?
And the weather. Weather.
My house is not deteriorating because of the weather. Like in fact, it'll last a long, long time because it doesn't have to sit through a lot of negative weather. Where I'm not having to redo the siding or the driveway or the roof nearly as often as you are. So that you save all that, and the property taxes are really low here. So if you own assets, it's not nearly as bad. And if you just make money, you're good. That's all you need to do. Folks, that was a great show. 3 hours, 13 minutes. We certainly appreciate you guys tuning in. You can now get back to your regular scheduled program, guys, of watching Tom Brady learn how to open card shops. You can watch Jeff Wilson learn how the business works, learn how to, run a card shop. You can go watch Mojo Break, learn if he wants to open up a card shop as he's starting to go gray and starting to reach middle age. You can watch these guys. That's fine. That's fine. You can watch all this content. You can watch Professor Sports Cards say he has a journalism degree but doesn't reach out to somebody for comment on something, on an allegation. Doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. You guys can watch all this garbage. We did it for 20 years, 25 years. Ran open card shops, ran dealers, shopped on every single site that's ever existed in the hobby. Got offered every brand deal possible in the hobby. Every affiliate deal you see these guys running, every deal, every offer to make a commercial or do a video or a collab, we've got it all. We've launched our own website, got to the top of the game there, launched a podcast, got to the top of the game there. And oh, by the way, on the side, Ryan's selling tickets, banging hot chicks in fucking Arizona. And we having fun while we're doing it. You guys reject the 1%, the SCVs. Oh, I got to unfollow him. Not telling me 99% garbage that I can just get anywhere else. Can't listen to SCV. These are the only videos you should be watching. Period. End of story. Till the rest of these guys start stepping up their game and saying shit that actually gets your attention and makes you think a little bit. You don't have to listen to somebody and agree with them, but if he gets you to think a little bit, it's great. Hopefully we did that on tonight's show. Professor vanished. He probably got to work. Homie got to work. Got a day job. Got on here fucking talking about YouTube. Motherfucker don't got a YouTube plaque. Getting out here talking about views. Guy doesn't even have so many views. You know what I mean? Pisses me off. Anyways, folks, hope you all have a wonderful day. We'll see you again soon. Ryan got disconnected. I'm still here. But we're gone.
You've done a lot of talking, not a lot to see. Up in the millions like 2.3. But you off, got it all, getting off scot-free. Try to talk tips like we're talking about stock. But you're talking about men printed on card stock. When you open your mouth, I take it with a grain of salt. Cause the market's down and you're clown. It's all your fault. You ruined the hobby, I love it. Bullshit, Jeff Wilson. You ruined the hobby, I love it. Get your bullshit, Jeff Wilson. Did you dip me out? I think you dipped you out. What you talking about? I don't think you did, yeah. It's just shake shit like a GOB's, like it's wholesale thing with the mid-FTs.
People say, hey, you had Jeff never made up. I'm like, no. Guy got nothing to offer me. The guy's a little bit. I mean, his wife wants to call and talk about this. No.
If you guys are
Or that. I mean, yeah. I would straight up. Hey, let's talk about the communication. Talk about network TV and shit. Where's that? East side.
Jeff Wilson.
The AI version is all is.
Jeff Wilson.
What a plug. Kind of send him money.
Jeff Wilson.
The album. I thought it was the album. This was like maybe a couple months ago. He drops a new album, and guess what? When I get the album, and I open the package, guess what it smelled like? 420. It was fucking awesome. was like, yeah, this is awesome. I bought a rap album directly from the artist, and when I opened it up, it was like, wow. It was like a dispensary fucking got sent to me. I was like,
What's
this is
going
crazy.
on with that PP?
Like, I
You done a lot of talking, not a lot to see. Up in the millions like 2.3, but Jeff got it all, getting off scot-free. Try to talk tips like we talking about stock, but you're talking about men printed on called stock. When you open your mouth, I take it with a grain of salt, cause the market's down and you're a clown, it's all your fault. You ruined the hobby I love with your bullshit. Jeff Wilson, Jeff Wilson. You ruined the hobby I love with your bullshit. Jeff Wilson, Jeff Wilson.
oh, Steve Williams is,
I think you did,
Steve Williams
Jeff.
is weak.
What you
Like,
talking
Vince
about? I
guys
don't think you
fucking
did
took
yet.
off like a
Willie's
fucking
doing
rocket
shady
ship.
shit like the GOBs, like it's so
Yeah,
bad.
no,
Them with
that
them
you guys would be
NFTs,
sucking his dick
taking
even
money
more.
from the
If you're
people
hating on
that
Steve
make.
Blaz,
Most of them
show us
are
your
broke, but that's
accomplishment.
okay. He's
Exactly.
getting money.
They hate on Steve
Even
Blaz.
better tax
Hate on
free.
STD.
Loving all the
But
stimulus
it's, oh,
from
Jeff
PPP.
Wilson's learning.
You ruined the hobby I
Oh,
love
Mojo
with
should
your
try to
bullshit.
open up a
Jeff
shop.
Wilson, Jeff Wilson. You ruined the
guys
hobby I
root for me,
love
not
with your bullshit.
Rob.
Jeff Wilson, Jeff Wilson. You ruined the hobby I love.
You guys are
with
like
your
fucking like
bullshit. Jeff Wilson,
Cubs fan and
Jeff
shit.
Wilson.
They
You
have to
ruined the
run. He's
hobby I
like, oh,
love
well, we
with
gotta
your
root for
bullshit.
him. Fucking losers.